Come on now. Morning, Peeps. How you doing?
Good morning.
In the put Blurry in the
You see Kellogg K?
yeah,
Not really my jam, but it's moving.
Etsy was a good call. I got in it. Yeah.
Took Fazley short.
Okay. Oh, Kellogg's setting up inside. Big shooter though. Need to see if it can break back above there. Lowe's is trying to push new highs right now. This thing's gonna lag, of course. LOW. LOW is breaking out right now.
W went nuts. I'm from $3 to $7. 300.
Man, that's awesome. Lowe's is coming at that try. I figured it would. Lowe's is gonna be long or 201.79. There we go. Yeah, K break shadow be 212 up. Showing up over here. Lows over 201.77 is going to be long. Etsy add or enter now if you're not in it yet. Etsy short. Etsy is short right now. I'm going to add to mine. Oh, I entered Etsy short on this gap down. It tried to come up, it couldn't. It formed two big wicks on that 5 minute and then came right back down. I entered. It's 14 o'clock, so I need to keep a tight leash on these things. Anything can happen. There goes Lowe's. Lowe's is long. Etsy add or short. Etsy add or short.
Fazley's selling off as well. Gap down name.
Nice. Etsy could die today. I'm up already over 100% on it. All right. Let's see if this ain't working. There we go. Let me show you what I'm seeing on Lowe's weekly. Come back up through that try. Down, up. Computer machine gun, if it wants to come all the way up to 208 today. Will it do it? I don't know. On morning where there's a couple big ones, you don't have to focus on a bunch. Look at Etsy on the higher time frame, it's dying. There's a 312 Chicago on the downside, gap down this morning, and then puke. It's moved $11 already. So I figure. It is 10 o'clock. Anything can happen. In 4 minutes, they can turn a switch on and they go the other way. So. On the next push down, I'm probably going to join Ask and Cover. Baidu's puking as well. All out of Etsy. Thought again was spiked there. It wasn't much. $15 a share. Will I get back in it? Possibility. I'm gonna wait till after 10 o'clock. Come on, Lowe's. There you go, girl. All right, so let's keep a look on Etsy because I will enter back in it. So on days that we're into something good, there's no point in looking around. Baidu, I'm going to keep an eye on that one too. It's breaking through that 4-hour support here. It's doing it quite well too. And it's one of those that can run all day. Tesla, holy shit, just made a huge move down. $13. Is that right? Can't get them all. Lowe's, go, go, go. What a fucking morning. Let's make some money here, guys, and then I'll start teaching you some stuff. You can take my calls if you like. Keep a tight leash on. Get some more lag here. Etsy, come on, 10 o'clock. Maybe I should have stayed in this a little bit longer. Is that right, though? Okay, man, for taking profits. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and close this platform here and reboot. Etsy's still dying. I don't know why the hell this is up. Etsy, holy shit. Lowe's still working. Etsy just broke pre-market low right there. After 10 o'clock, anything can happen. Take your money. Don't be greedy. Roku puking. Spies puking. VIX is booming. All right, let's load back up. I'll show you entries and all that stuff here in a minute. Baidu puke. All you gotta do is just pick one. Tesla, I'll tell you what, Tesla's been a choppy shithole. Roku's puking. Roku's been puking the last several days. 212 continuation measure move on the monthly. It just broke support at 291.23 the downside. The daily pivot. You see a big flush here. Pulling back on the 5-minute, which is a TTO. There's a flip. Roku breaks 288.90. It's going to be short here. I am looking to get back into Etsy. I'd love to see a big pullback to the top side and then another puke. Lowe's pulling back in here. SPY short if you're not in it. SPY short target 411.67. Lowe's come on back up here. Lowe's crossed again. I'm going to add. All right, Etsy's pulling back up, crossing back below 160. I will re-enter. If it decides to come back up and fill that gap, I'll go long. I don't give one hell. 10 o'clock, they can turn a switch on and shit will go the opposite direction. That's why I scout before 10. I just tend to take all my profits before 10 o'clock today because I know what can happen. Lowe's is pushing back up here. Lowe's pulls back up, you can enter or add. Doesn't matter. Target being 203 on Lowe's. The first target is. I've already made all my money. We're just before 10 o'clock. For some reason, I'm making the most money in the bathroom. I don't know why. Not crazy. Baidu coming on down. Baidu cute. 212 continuation measure and move. I guarantee it. Baidu finds support around 140. It is short here. Baidu is short. Etsy's trying to come back in. That's what I want. Roku inside trying to come down 15. Etsy will be short below 160. Let's get it ready. Etsy will be short below 160. Baidu coming on down. Roku, if you look Roku 15-minute here, you'll see it inside 15, fixing to go 212 down. All right. We're waiting on these to break. That one right now, all it is a pullback consolidation profit taking. It is wicking down at the bottom, so we do need to be aware of that wick on the 5-minute, showing you that there's buyers stepping in. So we gotta be aware of that. Full time frame company to the downside. It is every time frame needs its own pullback. All right, it's a little bit extended on them higher ups. We're mindful of that. So right now we're not gonna jump anything right off the bat unless it breaks. What I like to see is the reversion comes through that gap. Hell yeah, well, it's a real possibility. There we go. If anybody took my call this morning, you made a lot of damn money. Their SPY still pushing down. There we go. I just reloaded my screen. Sorry, it was lagging. Morning. Before 10 o'clock, if I'm not on here, keep an eye on alerts. Alerted Etsy early. You're welcome. You're making some money. I call it I'm feeding you while you learn to feed yourself. Is everyone going to hit? Nope, not everyone. That's why it's important to keep a really tight stop. They either work or they don't. If it don't work, get your ass out. You shouldn't lose no more than 50, 60 bucks. Roku coming down here. Look at this higher time frame. First 212 continuation measure move right here on the monthly. Yeah, almost there. We're looking at this pivot right here on the weekly. It broke through. There's that same pivot right there on the daily. You can see breakdown. It's extended. It's extended. It needs a pullback. It needs a pullback. Right. Okay. I got in Roku yesterday with one contract. Came on down, consolidation, got in it again. Took 2 entries on it. I was kind of scared, but it worked out pretty damn good. It came down, we got out. It consolidated for a long time. We broke down and got back in it right here. One contract. And after it found some strength on the way down, you added. W, I don't know. Let's take a look. My favorite right now is chopping. I can tell you that. Don't mess with it at the moment. Hammer trying to come back up. It can do a pivot machine gun this weekly. It is making higher lows, which is a good sign. There's a 2-2 on the day. It's looking bullish at the moment. Right now it's chopping. It needs to break 297. to go long. Or is it break that 285 to go short? I'm not interested in shorting it. Baidu coming on down right now. So Baidu's gonna be short below 192 here. You might want to give it 191.90. On the 5-minute down here, the wick right before it, the candle right before it wick down. You need to be mindful of that. That tells you that it can break this and pull right back up a little bit. So keep that in mind. Roku's trying to break down here. So there's no sense in going through our scans right now if we've got stuff in our face. This is what I do. If I don't see anything popping on my main tickers, I'll go looking. Starbucks is wicked out, come back up 1-3. Nvidia 212. Novaks 212. Continuation measure move 15er. Trying to come back up. The love for this
Walmart off the
base to come
lows.
back up.
But Walmart's got a big hammer on the 60.
Walmart. Ooh, not yet. Sure is. Yep. I love things gap downs on these big names. Love it. Yeah. So it's two inside daily 2. They can come right back up to those stops today. So Walmart breaks 140.40. It'll be long. Target 141. Magnitude 142.74. Still bullish lows here. I still think Lowe's is a swing. It's based on H day, but it was looking like hell yesterday. I can tell you that. I had second thoughts. All right, let's pull Roku up here. Roku's dying. See it come to the base here, 221. There's a little bit of support right here at 288.63. Break down below that, we'll see another push down. Measure moves 30 here. To 290. It's an $8 measure move the downside. Can we get it? Possibly. Tesla puking. Tesla is short here. Target 657. Tesla short. Etsy's fixing to come back down. All right, when I call these are on breaks of these pivots here. So this, when it comes up, your stop is going to be at 668.66. As it comes down to profit, you're going to move your stops to break even or to break even, basically. All right, so if it comes back down, you don't want to stop out in red. There's no sense. You're in the money right now. So why the hell would you want to stop out in red? Especially if you got a new account. Etsy come back down. Roku's breaking, fixing to come back down. VIX or SPY come down if you took a short there. All right, we're waiting on Etsy to break this right here. Measure move 30 here. 160. Since it's a $7 measure move here, it could go down to $7. I want it. See it site number holding. Ain't no joke. Site numbers are real. Tesla, just scalp it. I wouldn't be holding Tesla for a long time here. It's been too choppy. Novak's coming up, 212 reversal. Novak's gap fill right this second. 212.15er for gap fill, target 167.38. It can find resistance right here on this pivot low at 169. We're going to keep tight stops on this until we see if we can get some follow through. But Novak's is long time being. It is bearish overall. This could just be a pullback to the downside. So take your money off it. All right. Target is 170. I'd be selling before it got there. Out of lows. Tesla coming on down. Give me some money, Tesla. Big skyrocketing. The SPY's down. So every call is working today. Every call, every put, everything's working. Novak's working. Almost a target. Tesla come back in. There's the hair. So now your stop's going to be at 665.99. Okay. Baidu coming down puking. Novak's almost at gap fill. If you have a new account and you're new to trading, don't worry about adding or anything like that. Just worry about building your account. All right. Worry about building your account. That's all you're worried about right now. Then you can, there's 3 steps. Build your account. Second step, stay in the position a lot longer. All right, let them run. Third, let them run, add to them. Novak's almost at gap fill. It actually gap fills at 168.18. There is resistance. See this pivot here? All right, it can come down. This could act as resistance and it pushes back down. So be aware of that. Be aware. Take out EM, take that 50 month down. EM. Novak's still coming up. Out of Tesla. AEM fixed some break, absolutely. Yeah, good call. Beautiful. Breaking out of that 4 month or the 4 hour and the daily. There's a 2-1-2. There's a consolidation for a leg up. That's actually a 2-1-2. It's actually a 2-bar rev strat, but really it's a 2-1-2 continuation measure move. 2 down, 2 up weekly. Beautiful. Needs to break that 68. Needs to break this level here. I'll let it break 68.80 before I got in. Looking good though. You can see it's breaking that 60 pivot over here. That's that daily. That pivot there's the daily pivot in the 4 hour. Novak's almost a gap fill, almost our first target here. It can find resistance right here on this pivot. So just remember. I'm going to start selling mine right now. I'm not going to hold. That's almost $6 right there. I am going to join the ask. I'm going to join the ask right this damn minute. As it's pushing up. Oh. All out of Novak's. Can it keep going? Hell yeah. Am I going to take my $6? Yep. Yep. It is going to find resistance here. I guarantee it. At 170, it will find it. Well, can it push on through? Yeah. Let me show you what happens on these breaks. Never be greedy. On these pivots, here, here, and here. This price can do 3 things. It can shoot straight through it. It can hit it, pull back, and then go higher. Or it can hit it and just come all the way back down. Okay? There's 3 possibilities. Right now it's touching it and pulling back slightly. All right. We know there's resistance there. It comes over several days ago and touches. There's a pivot low over here. See it pulling back? Now, if I've got to get out, I'm not saying it won't, it'll keep going down. I'm just saying if this thing happened in reverse and I'll have to sell the bid then, right? I'm going to catch the downside of that spread. When I join the ask, I'm actually getting the ask. I'm bypassing all the spread and I'm catching all that in between. It's inside. I look for it to go inside and up. There's a consolidation for the next leg up. I don't care if it goes 2 up. I don't care. There's your rest. We just saw it. Can it keep going? Possibly. You can do 3 different things when it comes up these pivots. Would I like for it to break through this pivot low? Hell yeah. Yeah, that pivot low brings 172, 184, and 190. SPY still working here. If you're new and you're listening and you're taking these calls, you're making money today. Do what I'm telling you something, just take heed to it. See it pulling back there on that line? I showed as it pushed up. Why? Because I know price can pull back on these lines. Yep, look at it. Oh yeah. So I caught a gamma spike as it pushed up. Now if it starts to rotate, you get a sell a bid. You're still making money, but you're giving up that spread. All right. I said there's three things. It'll hit this line, push on up. It'll hit this line. It'll pull back slightly before going higher, or it'll hit this and push right back. All right. That's what it's going to do. It does one of those three things. Baidu is 212 down. It is a 222, but I don't care. See right here, it's a 222. That's your consolidation. That 2 right there is a consolidation. All right, Etsy, here we go. Get ready. I'm telling you, if it breaks that 160, that 159.90 level, it's going. Tesla's coming on down here. Spy's still working. Baidu trying to take it next leg down. There goes Tesla. Holy shit. Incredible. Look at Tesla. I got out early. Can't be mad for taking profits. Never be upset. Take profits. Even if it continues to go down to 20 bucks, you can't be mad. Roku's still working. Roku was interested in breaking consolidation, still working. So if you took Roku, you're making money right now. Break consolidation.
Look at the
here.
VIX. Look at the VIX, looks like a rocket ship.
Yeah, it looks just like a rocket. Yeah, it's bringing that SPY down too. I love it. I love it. Yeah, if you took that SPY short earlier when I said it, you'd be making some money right now too. Roku's still coming down. Baidu breaking down. Tesla's still coming down. Etsy, I don't know why Etsy ain't coming down. Etsy's strong. There goes Tesla. Holy shit. You can get back in Tesla here. It's a consolidation that's come on down here. Look at that. Holy shit. Look at the 15, 30. Again, there is resistance at 657 on Tesla. Baidu coming down. Roku puke. Etsy's just sitting there. So if she's going to sit there, we're going to take something else here. The video coming down. Docu. Novak. See there, I told you. Pulling back almost. It's giving back 50% if you didn't take your money up there. There, Dan, listen to me. Better listen. All right, here comes Etsy. She's a little lagger there, but that's all right. I'll take it. Etsy's going to be short here.
Walmart's going really good.
Is it strong or is it very short?
Oh, Walmart's moving now. That's a nice call. Kellogg's grinding higher too.
Nice.
It looks like they're getting retail. The rest of the stuff they're dumping.
Walmart, Tesla, damn. Yeah, on days like this, you don't have to be in them all. You just need to be in the right place at the right time. Tesla, my God. Tesla broke through that pivot on the 60. She's touching. Let's see if she'll continue to go lower. Etsy, I can't believe it. It's crazy. Etsy's short. I don't know if you're in or not, but you better be. Now, there's a lot of resistance right here at 658 on Tesla. If it breaks through there, let's see a big push down. Baidu coming on down. Incredible. There's consolidation on Etsy right here. Or Tesla. Tesla's short now. Tesla's short now or add. Man, just pick one. Spy's still short here. VIX coming up like a fucking rocket. Etsy's still short in the money. About 30% on there. Baidu up 80%. Damn. Look at Novak's coming back down. Tell you. When it comes up them pivots, you better be aware. Better be aware. What's going on with it? Comes Etsy. Let's go, girl.
C Day just broke the monthly.
What did?
C Day just broke the monthly.
Baidu puking. Up 90% on Baidu. I love Baidu. I make so much money on Baidu, it ain't even funny. I'm sorry. I'm in like 4 or 5 trades here. Baidu. Entered on that break of 192 here. Etsy still short Etsy. Come on, Etsy, give me $10 more here, girl. Die. It's pulling back slightly. Etsy up 50%. Incredible. Etsy, there she goes. She going. Do 212 continuation measure move on Etsy. 15. $3 measure move right there. Target 187 or 157. See if we get it. Lowe's back up. Lowe's just breaking out 212 continuation measure move. Lowe's is long right now. Lowe's long. At a Baidu. Big's come back down. Spy's going back. What a fucking day. I love it. Absolutely love it. Lowe's 212 continuation measure move on the 60 target 203. 203. Good profit on Etsy. Join the ass finally got or did limit soon. Got that. And look, see how it pushed up on this 15, came up, tried to go lower, it couldn't, right back up, right? Apple 2215 back up. It's trying to just be a pullback to the downside. I love it. I love it. Look at the question real quick, guys. I'm sorry. Etsy below 160. Yeah, that's right. Etsy below 160. Yeah. Yeah. Fastly. Let's take a look at Fastly. Some people talk about that in the Twitter world as well. It's starting to slow down. It's kind of like Etsy right now. Beware these candles when they start going sideways. It's just consolidation. It tells you that price is slowing down. We're happy with the price right now. Can it go lower? Yeah, it can. Go lower. Take a look at BA. BA's in a range here. Plenty of room to trade that, but remember there is some resistance right here around 225. Yeah, Lowe's is going absolutely 212 continuation measured move. And if you look on that weekly on Lowe's, it wants to come back up to that chart I'm telling you. I think it's going to come back up through there because Home Depot. I tell you what, I wasn't thinking that yesterday though.
Jerry, check out TJX. I think get ready to break out on the 5.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, consolidation, fix and break. Good job, man. Oh yeah, beautiful. And you know, it's always you always look at the higher time frame first. Exactly what we got going on here is you got to have a beautiful time, you know, a beautiful chart. You know, you want to be able. Can you talk? You want to be able to see exactly what price is doing. All the way up through here, we can see right on the daily, it's pushing up. There's a clear uptrend on the month, the week, and on the day, we see it just pulled back recently. It's coming back up through range. There's a 212 reversal target being 7248. Right now, on the 5-minute, it's in a range. It is chopping. It's just consolidating, right? All this is a compound inside bar, and you can see some of that right here on this 2-2. You can definitely see it here. And the reason this says 2 instead of an inside bar is because it wicks up just a little bit. This wick right here caused that to be a 2, but that's inside. All this is inside this. That's a compound bar inside. We're waiting on that break. So it's a good find, guys. Yep. 78-186 will take this top. We'll take it long. Lows are still working out if you got back in that. Magnitude 7248. Lows was long back here on this break of the inside bar. That's all we're looking for. On an individual bar basis, this is your 212 continuation measured move. All right, and I guarantee if I measure this 201, 202, it's $1. So the target's 203. Watch this. This is how powerful these fucking measure moves are. I'm sorry for cussing, but that measure moves $1, which is be 203's target. Look, comes right up the pivot. So these measure moves are incredible. 203, it can, remember, 3 things happen. It'll shoot straight through there. It'll touch it, pull back and go higher, or reverse completely. Just like we said on Novaks here. It did push straight back through. It did pull back. I don't know if it's going to reverse here or what, but we see it. Price pushed up to it. It touched it twice and pulled back right there. So if you didn't, I sold as it came up. But if you didn't, you'd have to sell a bid. You'd be giving us that thing. Etsy taking their leg down here. There's a flip. Lowe's pushing up still. VIX inside at the moment. SPY's inside at the moment. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this pattern here, Novax is full-time red, the downside. This pattern works both ways. Price comes down, it breaks through, it tests. Guess what? The next move down will be twice the first. So 155, 170, it's $15. We expect to see 140. So the target on this thing is 140 on Novax. So Lowe's is still working. Essie trying to come back down. Apple's 2-2 right now, so keep in mind on that. 15er, 2-2 up. It could come right back up through here, but it could machine gun. I'm not interested in taking Apple until it breaks 128.56. Am I losing some money? Yeah. Am I going to be guaranteed that it's in a possible uptrend? Yep. I want to see this thing push up. I want to see a pullback and the next leg up. So I consider this an uptrend or reversal of the upside. It's still working.
And Lowe's is a rev strat up week too on that
Yes,
chart.
sir.
So 1, 2 down, 2 up.
Yeah. There's a TTO right there back to the upside, taking out all these stops, 208.98. Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching this one for a week or so.
Yeah, it's just the end of the week, so it might not hit its magnitude, but if
Yeah.
it does go, it could really hit that magnitude.
Be one hell of a swing though. Because it will
Oh, yeah.
come up. It's just like HD, right? All right, Novax might have hit this thing and come right back down. We're going to short it. Target 158.02. Come right back down that huge green bar. So Novax is going to be short here in just a second. Target 158. So this is a classic strat here. 2 down or 2 up, 2 down. Entry as soon as it crosses this right here. On this one, I will take it because, you know, there's $6 or $7 right here in this candle. Low still working. The thing is, we want to make sure this is a down instead of a pullback to the upside. So Novax is long right now. Or not long, I'm sorry, short. Not long, short. First target on Novax, 158.76. All right, just gonna learn on cat tracker. Let's see what she's doing. I marked that thing a few days ago. So it must be something good. Must be breaking a pivot or something. Come on. Can't even type. There we go. 3260. Look at there. 212 measure move. There's your 3 down, 2 up weekly. It's breaking out of this consolidation right here. It's what's consolidating. See right here, cat is long right now. CAT 313 measure move 4 hour. All right, it's breaking this 30 pivot. You know, cat tractor is long right at this moment. Better get you some. I am.
Hey, Big O, good morning. This is Anne Marie. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you said with the Apple, you're waiting for it to get to that 122.56, I believe it was.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Yeah, so I want to see it cross 128.57.
Okay, so do you normally do that? You wait for it to go back up to, so what am I trying to say? Where it pulled back? Do you normally
still
wait for
working.
it to?
I like for it to come up at least 25% off that bottom. Also, you know, I pick a candle that's higher up just to kind of confirm that is a reversal. Also, on the 5 minute, I want to see, let me draw it for you. I want to see, can you see the 5 minute down here? Well, we'll just do it like this.
Yeah.
I want to see some green bars. I want to see a pullback and the next pick up before I think it's an uptrend. Because right now, here's what could happen. We had a massive push down. Let me just draw it over here on the 30, top right. So price came down, we can see it push up and then come back down. So this could be profit taking. Right now, we don't know if this is a pullback to the downside or a reversal. So for this to be a reversal, we want to see it push up and pull back and the next
And
leg
then
up.
go back up. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. All right,
So
thank you.
you're welcome. If we take it at the bottom down here, which the strat says 2-2 taken on the top, right? Which is, our target would be, 128, but that's only like 50 cents, right? And if you're comfortable with 50 cents, that's great. Because when it comes up here, it forms a double top and price can reverse. So, of course, the $1 million question always is it a reversal or a pullback? And I just got to have a couple of things play out before I think it's a reversal pattern. Lows
All
are
right.
still working good if you're in it.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. TGX is breaking out. TGX is breaking out. Lows are still working. If you want to swing this thing, you want to go big and green. This will take you big and green on the day. There she goes, fixing to break out this 30 pivot too. Will this thing pull back before going higher? It can. I guarantee you this thing will probably go higher though. Of course, I can't guarantee anything, but Novak is full-time continuity to the downside. This one's full-time comfort. FTFC to the upside. Will it find resistance here? Probably it can for sure. Testing inside 15. Not every one of my calls are going to work out. They, part of my strategy is they're not all going to work out. All right. So if I tell you to get in something, all right, let's just say lows up here. Let me show you all the new people. I don't want you to lose a bunch of money. First of all, when I get into something, I start with one contract. All right. When it starts to work, I'll add and I'll add and I'll add. So if you're doing options, start with one contract. All right. Keep your losses to a minimum. If you're trading comments, start with 1% of your account size. All right. If you got a $25,000 account, you start with $250 in shares. All right. At a maximum. All right. If I call this thing on the break and it breaks above this pivot 10 cents. All right. Our answer is on the break. I like to give it a few cents above it just to make sure. Your stop is going to be just a little bit below that. So on this ticker here, it can move, if it can move 50 cents, then your stop's gonna be around 50 cents. On a ticker that's $70, you might can give it 10 cent stop. It don't need to be much. The point is when price pushes up here, all right, it can come back down and wick just a little bit below this entry. All right. And before going higher. Now, that being said, it can wick down a little bit below it. If your stop is super tight, you will get stopped out and you'll see it run off and leave you. There is a point of no return. So if it goes lower, if you want to just play it by ear, just set your stop 50% in the middle of the prior candle. I don't like saying that because some candles can be $3 wide and they'll be $1.50, and that's just too much of a risk. All right. So you just need to put a small stop on it and start with one contract. If it goes against you, cut it and you'll have a small loss. When it does go in your direction, sometimes you'll see this thing break on up, pull back and go higher. As soon as it pulls back and crosses this TTL, as soon as it crosses this high before the dip, you're going to add each time. Each time it crosses there, you're gonna buy. So sometimes it'll come up, it'll wick back down and go higher. All right. But when it does that, as soon as it crosses here, you're gonna add. So what I'm saying is, sometimes you get in, when it comes back down, you'll be a little bit readier when you first start. As soon as it comes up and crosses, you're gonna add. All right, that's why you start with one, but you don't add anything until it comes up. You don't add anything to it until the first TTO. And that TTO can be on the 1 minute. It can be on the 5 minute. It don't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. You can wait till the 15 minute, but I like to add as much as I can. If you keep your losses to a minimum, one trade will make up for all your losses. All right, for the entire day. When you're first starting trading, take your profits, take them often. All right. You might not want to wait on that first TTO because that TTO could be a reversal. You know, so you went from green to red. Take your money. All right. So the first stage is taking your money, take it often, grow. You can always get back on in the next TTO. All right. Also, the second stage is letting these winners run. All right. Letting your winners run. Third is let your winners run and add and keep adding and keep adding and keep adding. So there's stages. Apple is coming back up. It's fixing to break that. So we'll be taking a look at taking a long position in it. And let's take a look at it real quick. Let me show you here in a second on SPY what I'm talking about in these TTOs, these breaks. So you see right here, it's inside on the 60. Basically, that candle break marks the top of this 2. All right, so it's a 2-2. So you want a 2 down, 2 up. All right. Could you have taken it here? Yeah, you could have, but you're only going to gain 60 cents on this move. And, you know, some people, you know, if you have a larger margin account or whatever, and you can buy 1 million shares, then 50 cents is more than enough. Also on this wick right here on the 15, you can see there's a lot of candles. It's touched several times here. All right. So when it does break there, it takes out all these stops. It helps push through these pivots. All right. So a break of this range here can signify a reversal. Also, you need to be mindful of the wicks on each candle because the wicks tell the story. Say like on this 2 here on the 30 or on the 60. You know, price open here. It went higher. It came all the way back down and then closed. There's a lot of movement at one candle. Anybody that started that first candle probably got chopped up. You can see it here. It's just a compound inside bar here. We want to see a break either to the upside or the downside. Right now, it's chop city. There's no clear direction. You're going to get chopped up and spit out here. That's what that one candle is. It's just compound inside bar. So now on the 5 minute, we're getting a push up. All right, we're getting a push up. It's starting to pull back. Now, we want to see it catch and break through our entry. All right, that will signify a reversal and a clear uptrend. Right now, it's just pushing up. We don't know what it's doing. On the 30 here, you see the start of a reversal. It goes 2 inside and trying to come up. Could this be a 2-bar rest at the downside with a shooter? It can. We don't know. It's chopping. So we don't know. We wait. All right, let me pull up SPY right quick because SPY has some really nice ones. I'll make my point on it. 5 minute here. Let's go. Here we go. All right. It's exactly what I'm talking about right here. All right. Price pushes up right here on this line here. This is a TTO. And this works for any ticker on any time frame. Does not matter. Price pushes up. Say we took our entry right here that crosses. All right. We would have took it right here as soon as it crossed. All right. So here's a TTO. Price pulls down, pushes up. We take it as soon as it crosses this high, this candle here. So you enter here. All right. Your stop is just a little bit below that. And here's why. Your stop is basically on this purple line here, or your entry. It's actually just a hair above it. You can see right here, see how the wicks come down just a hair before going higher. So that's why you've got to give a little bit of room. Not much. It don't need much room. Because these breaks, they either work or they don't. So Price comes up, it comes back down, it barely touches it, all right? It wicks down just a hair. At this point, you're probably gonna be a little bit red, but you're only in one contract or 1% of your account. As price wicks back above here, see it pulls back as soon as it comes back across the high of this candle here. You're gonna enter along, you're gonna add to it right here. Or it could be your entry, my entries or my ads. Or my ads or my entries. All right, there's an ad. The TTOs again here. It dip down. The high of this candle is gonna be where you add at. You're gonna add as soon as it crosses this point here. Same thing here. It goes high, it dips down, comes right back up. All right. So this price pushes up, it pulls back and goes higher. Your entries at the top of this candle here. See how it wicks down here? So you got to give it a little bit of room, especially when it first starts. After it goes up, it's not such a big concern. Price crosses that point, you'll add
When you do your first ad, how many contracts do you add?
5. So I do what works for me is I add in increments of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I'm adding increments of 5. I also buy the same strike price each time until I get so far in the money, I've got to step down. But you want to try to keep them all the same strike.
So you said on just about everything but SPY, you'll start with just one contract. So your
Yeah.
first ad is 5 then.
Yes, sir. Yep. And on SPYs, the only one I do different, I'll start with 10. Because I'm not looking usually to hold long in SPY. I'm in here to get a point or two or, 20% and then get out. I'm not looking to hold SPY long at all. Yeah, so it's the only one I make an exception to. So it pushes up, pulls back, pushes up, pulls back, pushes up, pulls back, pushes up. And then as soon as it starts chopping sideways here, we're out.
Yeah, I typically only add one at a time. Like I got in Lowe's this morning in that weekly RevStrat break and I added one contract each time. I
Yeah.
ended up with 3. I'm all out now, but I had 3 total.
Absolutely. Everybody's going to have to do what works for them. And, if that works, that's great. That's great. And, you
But
basically
that's
just have to make it work, whatever's the best for you or whatever you're confident with for sure.
That's one of the few times that I've ever added. So
Dude, I'm telling you, once you start holding position, well, that's what I'm saying. There's 3 steps. First is taking money and building your account. Second is letting the winners run. Third is adding. Dude, when you start adding and letting these run, you're on God level. Telling you, man, that's when you start. When I first started doing that, man, I was doubling my account each week for like 3 or 4 weeks.
cool. Thanks.
You're welcome, brother. That's
When you
awesome.
say you're adding 5 contracts at a time, are you factoring in kind of like your position size in terms of like a dollar amount, or are you just adding 5 contracts?
I'm just adding 5 contracts. Yeah.
Okay. So your
Yeah.
position could be huge compared to the rest of your account then.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I add, I'm adding the beans to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now I wasn't able to always do that. I was, when I first started, until I built my strategy, I'd add 1. I'd be like that one guy was just saying. I had 1 or I had 2. And and at one time I was starting with 5 or 10 contracts on everything I entered, but then, if it didn't break and it pulled back, boy, I always had a huge loss, I could easily be down 250, 500, $600 on one trade. And I'd much rather take a $25 loss or a $50 loss than a $500 loss on 10 contracts. So just start 1 because you can add even like even on the 5 minute, right? So we got a candle forming and that candle pushes up. You see it wick back. All right. So if you see it wick back and then comes back and it ends green, that's a pullback on a lower time frame. So you might not see where I'm adding, but it guarantee you I'm watching these individual candles form. And it wicks back and pulls up, that's an ad. Yeah, so you can add all the way up. And some people might be more comfortable. You really have to do what's best for you as an individual and what your risk tolerance is, and emotion side and stuff like that, you might want to just add on the 15 minutes pullbacks. You might want to add, specifically on a TTO that you can specifically see on a 5-minute chart. Yeah. So it really just depends. Like right now on SPY, it's forming a TTO. So on SPY right now, it looks like the start of a reversal. You see right here, it hits the bottom, right? It made a higher high on this candle here. It pulled back. All right, here's your second pullback, and it's gonna go to the upside. So to me, this is a start of a reversal of the upside. Okay. Yeah. So for it to be a reversal, I want to say a push up. I want to say a pullback and the next leg up.
Possible TTO too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a 2 down, 2 up. If you're brand new, you can stick strictly to the 30 and the 60. Here's reversal. Right here. You take it here, your target's here. And yeah, it could easily come back up here. First target would be here for me, but really here, here, and here. And if you want to be real specific, here, 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 and here. But on the 5-minute, this is a reversal back to the upside. How long that'll go on, I don't know. But it needs to, before I took it long, I want it to break this candle here. The target being, these individual candles. And again, this coming up against prior pivot high and a pivot low. So there is a lot of resistance right here. Yeah. So really, if you learn the 2-1-2, if you learn the 2-1 breaks, Apple's coming up. Take a look at Apple. And a 2-2 reversals. I'm telling you, man, you don't need to know every rip strat in the world. You just need to know 1 or 2. So right here, here's your pullback on a 5. All right, the next leg up. So remember I was saying I want to see a clear uptrend, and that involves a pullback. See it starting right here. Here's our target. Here's our entry at 128.57. I want to know about it when it crosses. You can see as it came up to that line, I can just see these points. When I'm picking it, I'm not randomly picking them. I know why I'm picking them, but I can't. It's hard for me to explain why I'm doing it. But there is a purpose behind it. I wish I could put it in words. There's a lot of, for this to be a relevant line, it needs to touch at least 3 times, at least 3 candles. You see it's touched 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that's one reason I drew it. It's 25% from the base. You see it came up and wicked here, and now it's coming up and wicking here. So there's resistance on this level. All right. So if we can get a push through there, it's breaking that resistance, and we can possibly see a pivot machine gun to 130. Yeah. And I think it just comes with maybe short time and watching how these things react at certain levels. I don't know.
That level also gives you a rev strat on the 60.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, here's another thing too. In the first 30 minutes of the day, or especially the first 15, I might look at pre-market. Okay, especially as soon as it comes out the gate. I want to be, I am watching some of these levels over here. As the day progresses, though, I can care less about that. Somebody's mic's open. As the day progresses, I could care less about that. So I'm looking at just a straight continuation, just like you said. There's a rev strat sitting up there. To me, it's just a straight continuation. Whereas to me, I don't see days, nights, mornings, or anything like that. I just see one solid chart progressing. Because you'll see the chart just basically, sometimes they'll just seamlessly go through days and weekends like nothing even happened. This is coming down and it's bouncing. They don't have to come down completely and touch these pivot lows and highs to be relevant. Came down close, it's trying to push back up. You see it push back up on that wick. Right? So when you're looking at these candles, you better process these wicks, and also the body sizes. If price is pushing up and the body's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, it's telling you that price is starting to slow down. Let's look at Tesla right quick. I want to show you this on the 15. This basically shows you the point I'm trying to make. You need to practice compounding these bars as well. I don't look so much at the numbers anymore, but as a new trader, somebody new to strat, you got to pay attention to them, and it'll come with time. But you see right here on Tesla, it's a big push down, right? Okay. I hope y'all can see that. It pushes down here. That big downtrend. It wicks out the bottom, all right? But then it goes inside. See these wicks? It tried to push up each time, twice. And each time I did, it wicked right back down. All right. Seller stepped in and pushed it right back down. So this candle here, this next candle, could go 2, 1, 2. If it breaks this base here, then that's the next leg down. So it's just a 2, 1, 2 continuation to the downside. Also, on that pivot low on the 30 and the 60, sometimes price can wick down just a hair, all right, before it pulls back up and reverses. So you got to be aware of that too. Sometimes, I'm saying that because sometimes you'll be in something and it wicks below and you get scared and you stop out. All right, just where this thing reverse and keep going higher on you. So at certain points, things can do certain things. Can Tesla break through there and keep going? Yeah, absolutely. With these wicks right here, and it continuously making lower highs, there's still selling pressure on this thing, and those wicks tell the story. It's stuck in this range right here on the 60. It's been there for several days, 3 days. All right. So a break outside this thing right here can really drive Tesla down. Can you trade Tesla right now? Yeah, because that range is still 30 bucks wide. Now, it can wick down here, all right, and then push right back up through here, all right, because right now price is expanding, all right. Price does expand on every time frame. So the broader formations, it's great if you know how to draw, you know, it is a good skill to have. But the main thing to take away is to realize that price does expand. Right? And you can see it on these pivots. It pivot here and it pushes right back up. So it's like chess. There's so many different ways price can move. It's just something to be aware of. I hope I explained it kind of good. I'm not sure. Let's pull Apple back up right quick. I want to show you that level that we marked earlier. It's wicking down again there on the 15. See it? So it broke. It pushed it 3 times to try to go higher. It couldn't. It pushed down. Now it's trying to go back up again. See there? 1, 2, 3. And each time it came to this level here, it wicked. All right. So when it does decide to come up through this level, it'll take all these stops after everybody want to go short. We'll see a nice pop up through there. On the 15, we see a push up here, a pull back, and for it to be a reversal confirmation, we want to see a push up through that level. All right, and that's when we hit it. Yeah, cat's still working nicely. I hope you've been adding to that thing. I've been talking. Cat, there's a 3-2. It came off. The same thing. Here's the same pattern we're always looking at. Look here on the 4 hour. Price pushed up, comes down and retests the next leg up. So the next move is always twice the first. So there's 36, $3. So 42. Our price target on cat is 242. And I got that from the high before this thing pulls back and tests. All right. It's roughly $3. So the next move is twice the first. It's just happens so much. It's exactly like a measure move that hardly anybody talks about. Price can come down to 5 minute here if you're still in it. Of course, if you have a small account or a new account, I suggest taking profits whenever. But let me show you something here. That's what we was talking about here. Price pushed up. It broke our pivot entry. It comes back down and TTO. All right, so you can add here. At that add point, your stop is going to be just a hair below that, because the same thing can happen. It can wick down just a hair before going higher, just like I showed you on SPY. All right, don't do it often, but it's something that you need to be aware of. If price goes below that just a little bit, then it could be a possible reversal. But just be mindful, price can expand a little bit past that before going lower. It can also reverse completely, so it's just something to be aware of.
Do you have a program that writes those pivots, or do you actually put those pivots in, those
Oh,
lines?
no. Yeah, but I got a study that does it.
It's the one you wrote?
I didn't write it. Somebody else wrote it. I actually got it from Richard 47, I believe, or somebody. I can't remember. It's in the Discord. If you go to Discord in the scan room, that's up toward the top. So this volume study here, I
Uh-huh.
got that from Ripster. The pivot study, I don't know if I got it from him or not. I may have. I don't even think he uses pivots. I don't really remember where I got it from. I didn't write that.
So it's called a pivot study?
Yeah, pivot study. Yeah,
Thanks.
and I've got that load on every time frame, so it cycles for the time frame that it's on. So you'll notice that there's different. It basically finds hidden levels, and I love it. And all it's doing is marking a pivot high. So for it to be a pivot high, it needs to have 2 down bars or 2 up bars after the drop. For me, I know where these are without seeing them, but I can look at any chart at a glance and see where they're at. Yeah. Yeah, so cat's coming on down here. Yeah, so I suggest, I recommend using them. Tesla's trying to come back down here as well. So yeah, if you have a smaller account, focus on growing it. Take your profits, take them often. You see right here on Tesla, it's pushing down here. It's trying to triangulate out. Remember, we needed to break through the 60, and it's breaking it right now. So we got to push down, pull back, and then goes lower. This right here is consolidation, which was inside. And the reason it's at 2 now is because it's wicked down right here past this candle here. All right, so this was inside. And remember, after every big push, it needs a rest. All right, before the next big push down. So if Tesla can stay below this 655.32 level, it'll be short here. But let me see this. Tesla's been so choppy here lately. I'm gonna have to see more for I get in Tesla short, because it has been choppy. If you look over here, this thing moves, but it's really known to just chop all day. So it's around 11 too. So this thing, if I had to guess, it's probably gonna pour up back up and continue chopping this level here. So I'm kind of hesitant to go short here for a second. Etsy's probably going to puke all day. I'm not saying puke, I mean just go down, but slowly.
Hey, Jerry, I just looked at your scripts. Is that one called the very beginning, the pivot point script? Is that what you
Yeah.
call it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. I'm just now looking through this message again. I'm sorry, y'all. 23. Cash account is the way to go. So if you have a PDT rule, guys, and if you switch to a cash account, you don't have to worry about the PDT rule. Tesla's coming on in here. Novax is really trying. So Novax did exactly what I was talking about. Pulled up, hit our pivot, came back down. Tesla's short here. Tesla is short. Cat came back in down, unfortunately.
Walmart's hitting highs too.
Nice. Tesla is short. Roku's kind of drying up. You can see it starting to curl on the base down there. Yeah, cash counts the way to go. Yeah, Lowe's is a good one. It could be a swing for sure. If you go into a swing, you always want to be big and green before you get in it overnight. I mean, it's just less stressful on you. Baidu's trying to come back down, 2-bar restaurant downside. Here comes Tesla. Come on, girl. Puke. Tesla short here, breaking at 60 and a 30. Anytime they break through there, you can get a massive push down. Let's get a target on this thing right quick. Magnitude's 539, with first target being, there's a small gap right here too. Come on. 640. Dang, Tesla, go. Come on. Kids are watching and listening. Yeah, teach them. Nice job, Loves. I think being in relation to share size. Man, you can buy a contract really cheap compared to 100 shares. But you better know all about the Greeks and everything else on them. Yeah, you gotta know all about them. Etsy next leg down. Yeah, she's slowly grinding. Yep, Etsy's going back down. So now's an ad point on Etsy. I will try to post the last 2 or 3 days on Zoom. I'll stick it in the channel. I'll do that this evening. Yeah, sorry about Cat, Carol. I hope you took some money out of it before it came on down like that. Yeah, thanks, Ann, for that.
Hey, Big O, just quick question on some of those names that, you know, when you go green, it starts to kind of, you'll start to see that sideways action before, you know, head lower again. How do you hold those, or do you just get out and just kind of reduce your risk?
Okay, are you talking about when something first breaks?
So I was in Fesley this morning, right? And I was green in it, but you know, it started to chop, you know, for a good maybe half hour or so. I mean, in those situations, are you just getting out, taking your money and running? Because you'll see that next leg lower right now, and I'm like, man, if I held through that, you know, I would have probably doubled my profits or something like that.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard, especially, you know, Thursday, Friday after lunchtime. You can't hold through them. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. You'll be ate up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
because I sold right before that next leg lower, and I'm like, shit, like, you know, only took half of the possible profits. But, I also working on growing my account right now. And just want to take, just kind of play it safer, I guess.
Yeah, you can't deal with chop for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's not a missed opportunity. It's more like playing it safer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Guess we're trying to come back down here. Come on, catch a puke. Yeah, we can't deal with chop whatsoever on Thursday and Friday. It needs to die quickly.
Yeah, it's another thing too, knowing what day of the week it is. All that has an effect on kind of what your psychology and your positions.
Exactly. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, we can sit there and we can deal with chop. We can deal with chop.
Yep.
I'm all out at Tesla here. I caught a spike of $32 this year. I'm not gonna let that let it chop against me.
Would you say theta burn comes in mostly on Thursday, Friday?
Thursday around lunchtime, it starts.
Okay.
Friday, after about 10 o'clock, my gosh, dude, you can't do price can be pushing up. I can tell you this, price can slowly be pushing up and you'll be losing money. You can be negative. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, usually I'll do same week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll go next week.
Yeah, it's safer because then, as long as price is pushing, like, Etsy today, Etsy's slowly pushing down here, but, Friday, even though this is pushing down here, you could be negative. Yeah, this right here would be, even though you're making money, you'd be negative. Yeah.
So did you take next week's on those?
I buy same week expiration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because it was early in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, and also remember that small wins add up pretty quickly. There goes Tesla pushing on down. I'm going to take small wins on Tesla any day.
Hey, Jerry, one point you made before is if you're watching the 5-minute chart, a lot of times you'll bail out a little too soon. And I was looking at Fastly, and certainly the 5-minute chart didn't look good. But when you flip up the 15-minute chart, the trend doesn't look as negative. But again, taking your money is never a bad thing, especially on a Thursday or Friday, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And Lowe's is fixing to push back up here. But yeah, if you're new to trading, man, I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there staring at a 5-minute chart and I've put my stop too tight, get stopped out for price to go my direction. So if you're new to trading, keep your eyes off that. The only time you want to look at it is if you want to add to your position. Other than that, cover it up, turn it off. Just look at the 15.
Yeah, that 5 minutes a lot of noise.
It is so much noise. It moves so much, man. I'm telling you, it will
Yeah.
shake you out. Yeah, so that's very important for new people. Because it's scary. Yeah, Lowe's is trying to break out again here. So. Trying to come up on that 15. It's still got a little bit of room to get up to 203.12, but it'll break up through there. If it makes a lower high here, it might start to come down on you. It needs to break this pivot on the 30 and the 60. You know what I'm saying? If Tesla come back up, see, I'm not mad about taking profits on Tesla. Also, if you Roku's come down right now again too. You join the ask. If you join the ask, its price is coming up your target, right? You don't want to do it when you can't. You don't want to join the ask when is at your target. You want to do it before it comes up to your target. You always want to be selling into the strength. Okay. So if you have a target and it comes up to it, you want to put it about 50 cents away. You want to sell into it because you'll actually catch a gamma spike. And I've caught them up to $100 a share. So you can imagine you got 30, 40 shares, you catch an extra $100 a contract. It can add up pretty damn quick. But you got to sell into them. So if it pushes up and all of a sudden it spikes back down, then you've got to close that. And then, you got to try to get the best price you can out of it. So if price pushes up, all of a sudden it hits resistance or support, and then it starts going against you. Well, you've got that spread you've got to deal with, and you got to sell the bid, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose all that. It's in your favor when you can sell at your price, and you do it by taking profits early. All right. So you can't. What I'm saying is, don't be greedy. Take your profits when you're ready. You never go wrong by taking profits, even if it keeps going. If you take your profits and price keeps going another $10, don't be upset. You know what I'm saying? Because it could easily went against you, and you could have lost all your money. Look at Tesla. This is what I'm talking about, shopping on this thing. I took profits and caught a spike. I'm not mad. Could have kept going down, yeah, but I'm not worried about that. On a Friday, Keith, you can get a Google contract, Amazon, Tesla, whatever, for about 400. 100 shares of Tesla, 68,000. So when you get the money on Tesla, or even you can get one out of the money and still make a absolute killing on them because it moves so much. Yeah. Options is the way to go, but you've got to understand them 100%. In the resources, there's a book about options, and it tells all about the Greeks and IV, and it talks about theta, delta, gamma. Also, if you're in options, and I call something that's kind of pricey, you can get one out of the money, but you want to make sure it's at least a 30-cent delta around the area. I mean, it could be 28 cents, 29 cents, 30 cents. So if price moves up $1, you make 30, and the closer it gets to in the money, the more money you make. So you don't have to buy exactly at the money, which it is better the closer you can get to the money, of course. But you can still make money if it's out of money, especially on these tickets that move a lot. Tesla moves $31 today, but say you got in, it moved $30, and you got 30-cent delta. You made a lot of money on one contract. And that's another thing. If you buy one contract, these tickers I trade, they can move $5, $10, $15, $20 a day. So one contract can easily make you $1,000. You don't need to keep loading. Roku continue to push down. Novak's come back up to machine gun 15 back through. FTC red. There's Roku breaking down right now. So Roku's a short or an ad right this second. Roku short or ad right this second. Roku is short. I haven't been putting them in the I forget to put them in the Discord alert line. I know some people are allowing those, but it's hard for me to keep up with them. So Roku is short here. Novak's come back to the range. All right, see on the 5 minute here, 15. Let's put machine gun back up through. Now look, it's coming back to resistance here. Same thing. We gotta be mindful for. It's tested it. All right. This will be the third time it tested. Can it push on through there? Possibly. If it breaks through, we'll see high volume as it takes all these stops out across through here. All right. Believe me, I'm not the only one watching this level here. Roku short. Tell you what, Roku's a good one. All right, see it wicking down right here. You can see it on 5 minute better. It comes up, tests again, pulling back down. Remember, it can do 3 things when it comes in levels: break through, touch it, pull back before going higher, or reverse complete. Right now, it's breaking through, which is a good sign. But it's close to lunch. These breakouts fail about 80% of the time after lunch. Something to be mindful of. All right. Remember, price is expanding. All right. We talked about it. Price expands. So what are they doing? Waking up just a little bit for pulling back. All right, so we just drew that line there. Let's see if it holds. Go to these questions real quick. Here's the next one down. Yeah, that's yeah, thanks, Josh. I appreciate you. But if you ever have any questions, be sure to ask them. Lowe's is trying to come back up. Triangle layout, 15. So it breaks that top. That'll be your point to add, or that'll be a point for an entry. In the resource channel, Josh and everybody else, there's all kinds of free information there. All kinds, everything you need to know. So anything strike related is going to be in there. Tells you there's some information about gap trades, all kinds of good stuff. You sign up for TOS, you go to TD Ameritrade website, and you can sign up there. All right, Lowe's is coming back up here. Keep an eye on Novak. See, it's wicking down. Just trying to drive the point on how powerful these pivots can be. Same thing. Lowe's is trying to break through this pivot here, which is former high. This is just a TTO. All right, it's a triangle there. It's larger. This is basically in compound inside. You can see it here on the 30. See the pivot on the 30? You can see it right here on the 5. I like taking my entries on the 5 because I get a sniper entry. I can see exactly where it is just in a few pennies. If I try to pinpoint this 30-minute candle here, I can get pretty close, but I can get damn near to the penny on this 5-minute. All right. You want to see it push through here, otherwise it goes back inside. So if price breaks 203, it's just simple. It's what I play every day. Remember, it's close to lunch, so this breakout can fail. Let me show you what it can do, just like it did on Novavax over here. You can wake up just a hair and pull back. Be mindful, or it can push on through. All right, it's in a range right now. It's stuck in this range, and it's pretty tight. All right, there's a break. It's close to lunch, so we gotta be careful they don't pull back in on us. So Lowe's breaks 203.30. It will be a long or an add. Novavax is pushing up too. All right, Novavax pushing. We got to make sure it's not a false break. All right. The good thing is volume is increasing dramatically, so we like seeing that on a breakout as well. Lowe's is pushing. All right, it came back up, tested, pulled back. We want to see it push on through. So when my tickers that I've got up here are working, I usually don't scan that much. There's no need in it. There's no need in it. All right, Lowe's is long right here. LOW long. LOW is long, long, long.
Hey, Jerry, look at Walmart on the 30-minute. Do you think that's it's showing a 2-1-2? You think that's a measure move possibly of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, measure move is 140 by it's a dollar measure move. Let's look at the higher time frames. I like that 2 down, 2 up monthly, boy. It's coming up through there. It went through a range right here on the weekly, pop back up, 2 down, 2 up, shooter on the week. Can't come right back through that try right here on the daily though. That 3 on the 4-hour and on the daily, what that is, it just shows your price try to push back down, and it got right back up and went back. It actually is a red or green move, so you could have took it as soon as it went to green. 360, 3.2, there's your move. Yep. So there's a 2-1-2 continuation measure move right here on Walmart on the 30. Hell yeah. That's a dollar wide. So target on this thing is 142. Yeah. And also on top of that, put the machine gun up. Magnitude 143. Beautiful tries on the 5. Yeah. I like to see it break that 141 level though. 141.10. Lowe's, I hope y'all got in Lowe's or added to it. Lowe's is long, Lowe's is an add. So if somebody said there was in Lowe's, add the beans to it. Got a measure move right here on the 60 on lows. Look here, as it comes up through these ranges too. See right here on the weekly, that try, this is just a try. Through down to up, it's bullish on the month, right? On this month, we know it's in a high uptrend. It was extended, it pulled back. It was extended again, it pulled back again. It can come through this range this week. Well, we've only got 1 day left on it. Still, if it wants to, it can come through this by tomorrow evening. You'll see it happen all the time on the daily. You'll see a try like this, and you'll see that one bar run all the way through them in 1 day. And the reason it does is because there's a bunch of stops stacked on top of them candles. And the tighter they're stacked, the faster it moves. Yeah. So if you look on lows on the 30 here, it says 2, red 2, then a 2. This red 2 is nothing more than an inside bar. It opened and closed right there in the middle of it. Okay? So just because it says 2 there don't mean shit. It's inside. Because an inside bar, all it is a rest. It's a rest, a consolidation for the next leg up. So those come back down. It needs to come back down and act as support. So your stop will be 209.90. Okay. So when these breaks happen, sometimes they will pull back before going higher. And that's a good sign because that means it's going to go twice that move. Tesla coming all the way back up here. Yeah. So you can play Tesla all day and just scalp. All right, look right here. Price is expanding right now on the 60 on Tesla. See it wick down? So let's go here. Let's drill this line over and see if it connects. Look at there. Holy shit to the penny. All right, I drew this line the other day. And I just hit right, extend to the right, look at it. Came down and touched just touched it. Right there, ain't that crazy? It's a Brownian formation for you. Yeah. So what does that mean? Tesla could come all the way back up through here if it wants to, is what it means. Yeah. That's incredible. So I drew this line here the other day from here to here. And I just now extended it and it touched this perfectly. So it's just it could be a 2-bar restaurant at the upside with a hammer. If it does, my God. All right, Apple's fixing to push up here. So because of that line, I'm definitely watching Tesla a bit closer. Because it can come back up, man, I'm telling you, crazy. All right. Apple's trying to come back up and retest our line here at 128.57. VIX is all the way back down just about. Which brought SPY. I wasn't even paying attention to SPY. Right. There's a flip. There's a flip. Now, let's pull up this other chart quick. Yeah, if you go to TD Ameritrade's website, you can sign up for TOS. Let me look at Twitter right quick. TWTR. I'm sorry, guys. I try to get these questions as quickly as I can. Sometimes it's hard. Twitter is, man, see this 60 here? Well, let's look at the higher time frames first. Boy, it looks so bearish. They're supported at 45.86. So if it starts to bounce off that and come back up, it'll come back up to 80.75. It is very bearish. 312. Chicago, the downside on a 4-hour. It's stuck in this range, and this range is $2, right? on the 60, see it extends 3 or 4 days. There's no way I would take this unless it broke 52.15, 52.10. Yeah, right now I would not touch it. So you see this pivot high, pivot low. This isn't a range. This is the compound inside bars, all this is. Right? And it might not stay inside on the higher time frame because it wicked down just 2 cents right here. Right? So let's go look at it on the higher time frames. And you can kind of see it here on a 4 hour. It's just this range right here. So yeah, before you go short on Twitter, it needs to break to the downside of this. Okay, and when it does, you'll see a nice flush. Baidu coming up, Novavax, Tesla pulling back slightly. Roku, Apple's pulling in. It's tested that thing 5 or 6 times already on the 15er. One hell of a line. Okay, these pink and blue lines, this is a point of control. This is a study that's found on TOS. And it's a TPO profile. It comes with a volume profile on there. I've got it turned off. Set it to aggregate on a daily. So time profile per day. Okay. I got expansion, no. Show point control, yes. Show value area, yes. Opacity, I got it set to 0. So the point of control, I'm mostly using this point of control in the first 30 minutes of the day. It can act as support and resistance. Point of control is where most shares are bought and sold for the day. Tesla's coming up. Can you bounce off that broad formation coming up higher here? Tesla's long here, guys, and this damn thing might go to the moon. Tesla's long. Tesla's long. I mean, this thing might go $30. I don't know. I can't say. All I can say is bounce on that lower broader formation with a big old hammer. Keep a tight stop. But it's got the possibility to go back to the moon. VIX is coming back down. 212 reversal and hammer. Apple's breaking through. Apple's long right now. Apple same way. Also, SPY's long. Pick you one. Apple's long. Apple is long. It finally broke through. It isn't a clear uptrend. This right here was a compound one. It broke out. Okay. First target hit. Second target is going to be 128 or 129. Okay. With magnitude being 130.45. Get machine gun the upside. Lows are still working. Damn. Hope you got the ad back there.
Gary, check out CRM on the 60. That could be a pivot machine gun too. Let's get right to that point.
CRM. Oh, nice. Yep. We get a break of that 216.20 level. She gone. Oh yeah, magnitude 219.58. Let's look at the higher time frames. I always want to start there. Inside month ain't a big deal. There's still range there. It's $50 range. Stuck right dead smack in the middle though. On the weekly. Could be set up a 2-bar rest straight on the daily. CRM. It did expand, so it can come right back through that range of 219. Boy, it'd be a nice pivot machine gun taking them stops out. That 3 tried to take it lower, it didn't. Came back up. Yeah. So CRM, I'd like to see it break at 216.30 level. Right now it's just chopping inside the smaller range here. It definitely could run. Baidu's reversing. Tesla's long here. I hope y'all got in there. Roku could come right back up. So here's our 2-2s back up. Big red candles are fucking money. Let me say it again. Big red and green candles are money because price can quickly push up through there. There's no resistance. And the reason they work so well is they take a lot of stops on the way up. Apple's still working here. Pick one. I like picking the one that's got the most money to run. Apple, we picked that because it's cheaper, so some people can get in it. Tesla, better get you some. You better get you some, I'm telling you. Apple working target 129.59. Same with SPY. SPY's long here. Big still coming down. Nice green bars. Those still working. Take your profits early and soon, especially if you have a smaller account. There's no reason in hell you should end up in red on any of these trades, you know, especially if they break out of the gate. Let's see what you got going here. Just because it's I prefer when I'm trading SPY, I buy them 0 DTE. The sooner their expiration, the better. I do it because they're cheaper, right? And I'm just looking to scalp them. I'm looking to scalp them, get the most money I can out with the cheapest price. Oh, well. Oh yeah, that's right, Keith. Sorry about that. Keith, also when you get in, always start with, you know, with 1% of your account. You don't need to, don't never start with a bunch of contracts, just in case these breaks don't work. These breakout trades don't work all the time, and if they don't, you need to stop out with a small loss. That's the key to this strategy. You can literally have a 50% success rate, which is mine's a lot higher than that, but a 50%, you can flip a coin. If it works, then you can make money, basically, right? With good risk management. That's the key. Of course, you want to, you know, you don't want to flip a coin. You want to look at all the higher time frames and see what price the direction it is moving, so you can get the bigger moves, right? It's like the house. You go to the casino, you want to count the cards to try to put the win rate in your favor, right? So if we just have a small advantage over the house, we can make money. And that's all we're doing here. And we're just, you know, the market is like a living creature, because it can do what it wants at any given time. Lows are still working here. So, you know, we try to see and use our tools to see what direction it's going to do or what it's going to do based on past patterns and behavior, but it can still do whatever the hell it wants to do when it wants to do it. Lows are still working here. Anytime this thing pulls back, you're going to add. So we see right here on the 5 minute. Let me show you. So you could have entered on this break right here on the break of the pivot. Comes up. Look here. As soon as you get in, it starts to pull back. See? Don't be scared. Your stop's gonna be right down here. So if you first enter, sometimes you can be a little bit red. That's why you start with very minimal shares or one contract. All right. Price goes up. Look here. It comes down. Let me show you. Price comes up, pushes back, comes up and breaks through our pivot. All right. And it goes through quite a bit. So you instantly get a lot of money. All right. These breaks work because they're stops stacked up. All right. You enter as soon as it crosses, give it a few cents. After lunchtime, you give it more cents. All right. So the breakouts form often. It pulls back immediately. All right. Your stop would have been a little bit below your entry. It pushes up. All right, this is the triangle they got right here. As soon as price crosses this pivot here, you can add. It comes back up, pulls back, right? Your stop's a little bit below that, and it keeps going higher and higher. Also, if I call a break or an entry, you don't have to take it right there if you want. You could take it on the first TTO. So if price pushes up and TTOs, you take it here. So Tesla, I hope you got into Tesla. It's one of the fucking moon. Tesla. Up $12 since that call. So you can imagine one contract. And look here, first target on Tesla is 670. The reason I'm more confident in this move here, because this damn Bronner formation just lined up. It's respected it several times. See how it touched it and pulled right back up on a big old hammer? Pushing up. All right, hang on. First target is actually 664. Now, if you're happy with your profits, you want to join the ask and sell into that. Next target would be 668 or 669 and then 681. All right. Baidu's coming up. Lowe's still pushing. Apple, you should be big and green if you took that. If you took SPY, you should be big and green. I mean, I'm going to tell you. Damn. Tell you this, in the Discord room, there's a donation tab. When you're making money and you're happy with it, then you can donate, tip, bear money. You don't have to do shit, though. It's going to be free forever. Here, you can do this. You want to donate? Go to Twitter, share it. Share. Say Big Old Noob's the fucking best. These cocksuckers and the Strat don't know nothing except for Rob. Apple's still working. Lowe's still pushing. Baidu's to the moon. Apple or Tesla's the moon. Apple's the moon. SPY to the moon. All we're doing is catching them 2 reversals back to the upside. All right. Another thing, if you're new, take your profits when you want. Don't wait. Look here, target on Tesla. The first target's just off this candle on the 30. 664. If you're going to sell, you need to join the ask right now. Join the ask. All right. As it pops back up, you'll catch that spike. You're not giving any back. Now, if you want to go take the big move, the next big move is 669. All right, I'm gonna look at and get the close. Yeah, Roku's. Phew. Tesla. Wow. SPY. Wowie. I don't know what they. We have about a 95% success rate today on 15 calls. It's not too bad. So yeah, go to Twitter and say, and just like give Big Old Noob shout out, share the room, let it grow. I'm the only stratter that shows exactly what I'm doing. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm trying to teach. The stuff that I'm using is very simple. I love the 2-1-2s. I love a 2-2 reversal bouncing off a lower pivot or Bronner formation. I show exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. All right. So you always start with a higher contract. And then you don't start with a higher contract. You start with a higher time frame. You see exactly where price is in relation to the trend. So you want a beautiful monthly and a weekly pattern. You go to the daily and the 4 hour to see exactly where price is in relation to the trend. And then you go to lower time frames and gain a sniper entry. Now look there. Tesla came right up to that pivot for pulling back. So should join the ash right there. Now 45, got that next 15-minute candle. Remember, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. There's no way you should be giving any back. I'm not going to tell you when to sell yours, but I know I'm going to sell mine. I take profit often. Especially on like on your Teslas and stuff. Even though it's bounced off the lower Bronner formation, I'm going to take it often. I can always get back in it. Okay.
Hey, Jerry, look at MRCY. You're right in the middle of a big fat gap.
MRCY. Let's see. Oh, she. Good. T2. Look at there, boy, on that monthly. It bounced right off that lower pivot too. Push up. Let's see. Big candles. Look at there. 2-2. Boy. Nice. This right here is a 2-1-2 continuation on the 4 iron. I don't care if it says a 2. That's inside. I don't care about that number. That 5-minute is actually textbook. Clear price action. So when I say A+, that's A+ there. Easy to read. Push up, pulls back, push up, pulls back. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you're getting pullbacks on the way up. So there you go. This is trying to push back up here. TTO. People just taking profits where it goes higher. Baidu's coming on up. Remember, these big red candles are money. They are money. There's no resistance. They're just like the gaps. That's a good one right there, Mercy. That's a great one there. So these big red candles, man, when these things puke in the morning, I love it because I'm just waiting for it to catch a bottom and go back up. Remember, these pivots, they don't have to touch the base before they catch a bottom. You can see the Apple right now is came close to the base. It goes inside 30. It comes right back up. So here's reversal right here on the 60. It based at 126. It couldn't go lower. It made a higher low. And then it's reversal. 2-1-2 up. Right? It comes up these red candles. Each red candle is your target. And the bigger they are, the faster price can move back up through them. So I love when the price pukes. Lows, add as much as you can. It's still working. Tesla, you want to set your stop right at the base of this red candle on the 15th. If it comes back down against you, you're going to sell it. Right? I sold mine going up. Yeah, I sold mine going up. I sold into strength. I got in a spike. Low still pushing here. All right, comes out this triangle. See that 3 on the 5? I try to take it lower, couldn't push right back up. So 203.80. I'm going to add to it again. Yeah, that's right, Brent. Yeah, so even the lower delta can make it less risk, right? So if it does go against you, it's not going to be as dramatic. Yeah, Apple's pulling back, Tesla's pulling back, VIX is pulling back just a hair, and that's one reason you see these spikes across are pulling back. So don't be too concerned right now with these pullbacks, especially if you're in the money. It's easier to deal with a pullback if you're in the money. Right? But you sure hell don't want to give it all back. And I don't like telling, what I'm getting at really, because it can be different for everybody. I don't want to tell you to get out and it keeps going. I don't want to tell you to get out and it goes against you, or, I don't want you feel like you got out too soon and it kept going. I don't like mentioning my exits that much. Unless I think, hey, we need to cover, and then I'll definitely say it just to try to save you. But I can tell you this, when it comes up to a pivot high, you need to be aware of it because it can do 3 different things. Yeah, it's good. That's a good Brent. Yeah, I got an alert on cost earlier. And I got sidetracked. I didn't find it. I didn't look it up, but I did have an alert on it. It's probably breaking out of something for sure. Yeah, it broke out of this pivot right here when I got the alert. I've been watching it. Yep, I called this other day. Watch list on Twitter. TTO right here on the daily. Yeah, and look, remember I was telling you, it can push right up through there in one day. See, boom, boom, boom. It did too. I had this on my watch list. I got an alert on it. I didn't miss it. I got it. I just failed to look at it because I was looking at something else. But it TTO'd in one day. See it, $8 move. 2 inside 2, big move. Came right through that range there. Yeah. So when you're looking at swings, if you look at this move right here, look at it. Watch it. See the daily there? 2 bars down up. Look here. On the monthly and the weekly, we see we're in a clear uptrend. All right, it was moving up strong. It pulled back, 2 down, 2 up. Guess what? This is a swing. It's kind of extending a little bit today, but I called this other day for a swing. 2 down, 2 up. I knew it'd come up through there. Why? The monthly and the weekly strong as shit. All right, here's your pullback. It's extended. When something's extended on the weekly, we know it needs a rest because every time period needs its own rest. Target's magnitude is 388.07. All right, look at the daily here. All right, remember it. Watch this. Guess what else I'm calling a swing a week or so back. Look on the weekly. We got 1 day left. I don't know if it's going to make it, but I guarantee it'll be making it by next week. Just quickly. Look, if it wants to, it can quickly come up through there in 1 week. The swing, not as big as cost, but still push back through. Right. And the reason that you know they're going to work, there's more confidence going to work, is because of the month and the week. Yeah, it's been a strong uptrend. It chops sideways. It breaks out here on a big 3. Comes up. Yeah, I missed cost. I had a look. I just missed it. Tesla Doji 15. Big steel pulling back just a hair. Baidu's coming up. Baidu's coming up. Target on it is the top of the red candle on the 60, 196.56. Remember, big red candles are like a gap. Big green candles are like a gap. There's no resistance there. And the reason it works well is because a bunch of little green or a bunch of little red candles are stacked up, taking them stops out with it. All right, here you go. Yeah, so Keith, so whenever I call a long, it's usually on a break of a pivot or another candle. So your stop is going to be pretty tight. It's going to be, usually around 50 cents. On a smaller ticker, say Apple, it's going to be 10 or 20 cents, right? But to be on the safe side, see, Tesla, you got to give it more range. So Tesla might be $2, and because it can move $2 in a minute. So it really depends on how much it can move, the average true range, and the price of the ticker. Say on lows here, we take it. You pull it up here. On Tesla, or on lows right here. Our entry is going to break it. Say we took entry, we did take entry on this right here on the break. We took it earlier too. I got out and then I got back in. But anyway, your entry is going to be on the break of this pivot, the green dotted line here, 203. Your stop's going to be just a little bit below that. So if you want to know where to put it at, just say this candle that breaks on, put it halfway. Or, if you want to put it on the base of the prior candle. So this 2 here, I don't like doing that because I don't know how the size of the candle is. I don't know. I mean, right here it's only 50 or 60 cents away, right? But your entry is your stop, but you've got to give it room because sometimes they'll wick down just a little bit. I don't know a good formula to tell you except for, I don't know. Look over here. Break for you. Yeah, so I would just do this. The candle prior to the break, or when I call it, yeah, so if I call entry on it, here, I would put my stop halfway between the prior candle. So here's the break. It's the candle we take the entry on. The candle before it, put it halfway between it. That's your stop. Okay, if it breaks it, get out. 240. And really that's too much. Just set it for like 50 cents. between 50 and 75 cents. And I hate doing that. It's really depending on the price of the ticker. Apple, AMD, anything less than $100, 20 cents is a little bit too much. It's hard to say. Maybe somebody can help me out here. I don't know. It needs to be extremely tight. I can tell you that. So these either go or they don't, and sometimes they'll start up and they'll wick down just a little bit. But if you're having problems stopping out, you definitely need to continue using a hard stop. If the ticker's over $100, give it between 100 and 200, give it 50 cents. If it's below 100, give it 20 cents. If it's over 200, between 200 and 375 cents. If it's over 400, give it $1. I don't know. Trading shouldn't be hard. I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's just a lot of stuff. I don't know. You shouldn't have to give it too much. I can tell you that. Yeah, and also when you're in Tesla or something like that, there's nothing wrong with taking profits on it. Looks like it's fixing to take the next leg up here. But if it don't give you a reason to get out, then stay in it. FedEx is at all-time highs. Okay. You'll have to find that happy point where you need to put your stops at. So on FedEx right here, I can tell you that's a false break. See how it wakes up and pushes back down. The other mindful of that, it's a 3 too. Always look at the higher time frame. So let's take a look at it. Price push up TTLs, it breaks up right here at 305.99. So it is breaking out on the monthly. Beautiful. This thing's chopped between 234 and 308 for a while, for months, before finally pushing out. So that's a good sign. That's a 2-bar rev straight to the downside. You see it go up, back down. Right? That means it can't go higher on the lower as it can. Right now, it's kind of stuck in this range. Take a look. Big push up this morning. TTO come back up. Remember, it can push up and pull back before going higher. So we can see more than likely FedEx will continue to go higher. I like to see it over this 309.30 level to take it long. But if you're in it, if you're still in it, it looks like it's going to keep going higher, to be honest with you. That wick, though, you'd be mindful of that because it came up to this 310.47 level and wick down, so it can do it again. I would say this: if it happens to come up and start to wick back again, I'd get out. Because one of my rules is I don't let anything go against me twice. I hope you're taking profits on this stuff. Yeah. We have a shop. No, let's look. Shopify. Remember, anytime you look at any ticker, the first thing you do is look at the higher time frames. It pushed up, it wicked up 1500, came right back down. Boy, it looks like it wants to go lower here. It is in a range, a pretty tight range. When I say tight, it's $900. That big wick right here is making higher lows on the weekly. Big wick and a red bar, it tells me it's in a downtrend. Wicks. Always be mindful of these wicks right here. There's a 212 down. You see right here, it's wicked down twice. See right here. It wicked down twice here below this pivot before picking back up. It's red. Can it go lower? It possibly can. Let's take a look. If you see red. It's holding on that pivot on the 60 for the time being. The 2 down, 2 up. So I don't know. It's awfully bearish. Tell you what, if it breaks 1066, I would take it short. It's so bearish, I don't think I would look at taking it long at the moment. Yeah. Definitely looks like it's gonna go lower. Of course, again, it is bounced off its lower pivot, so it can go. Can it go higher? It can. It can. Our Tesla just had a big push up here. It could just be a pullback to the upside. I don't know. Tell you what, if it breaks that high before that dip just now, take it again for the next leg up. Got another big red bar to go up. Are they spready with the shot? Whoa, shit. They are. You get killed. You get killed there, especially if it goes in the wrong direction. I think shop's gonna puke here. I think it's gonna keep going lower. There's a pivot machine on the downside, so it is short now. Target 1068. I mean, it's like a $20 drop right there. But it is spreading. If you're going to be in something like that, you better know what direction it's going. Yeah, so. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Brent. It's better to stop at break even than take a loss. Once you're in profit, set your stop to break even. You know, and then you can let it run. You know, if it happens to push up, trade your stop up. You can set a target and then set a limit sale on it. You never want to trade to go against you though. But sometimes on these breaks, they do wick down just a hair if we're going higher. So if you're brand new to trading, I wouldn't wait on that to happen. I would take my profits as it's pushing up, and as soon as it starts to pull back in, and just get out. Just take your money. Yeah. Yeah, shop is spready. You need to know exactly what direction it's going. If you're brand new to trading, yeah, you definitely want to take something with a spread that big. Try to stick to spread that's less than 50 cents at the max. Sometimes I'll get stuff that's spreader than that, but I know kind of what I'm doing. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon's trying to come back up through range here. Let's say price pushed up, and see right here, it's in this range right here. Yeah. Of course, that's you can definitely trade that. It's coming up. Price expanding here for pulling back down. No, you can see it right here. That big red tune is right here. That green bar today could just be a pullback at the downside. We don't know. We do know that price is expanding here now. Starting to find support there. Be nice to see it pivot machine going back up to 33.40, 33.50. See, we're having 5 minutes in uptrend. You see it push up, pull back for the next leg up. It is making higher highs and higher lows. All right. So I think it's starting to drop a little bit here. UNH coming down. Or pops the video. Look, it's just kind of floating around there. Info's coming on down. Ooh, infos. puking today. Docu puke. Look at info. No, sticking. Yeah, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, and that's one reason if you're brand new to trade the strat, of course you always want to see where price is in relation to the overall trend. That's why we look at the higher time frames, see what direction it's going, general direction. If you're going to trade, you go to lower time frames. I would suggest sticking to the 30 and the 60-minute charts. All right, because they move slower, they're easier to read. I like the 212 personally, the continuation measure move, but you can really do the 2-2 reversal back in the time frame continuity and be very successful. You really want to learn just one and master it. Get really, 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 really good at it. You don't need to know them all. You don't need to know them all. You just need to know one. I traded out 3 different patterns. All right, look at info here. Pushing up on the month, right? So every time frame gets its own pullback. All right, it's rest, consolidation, pullback, or reversal. Can't talk right. Lows are still pushing up. Every time frame needs its own rest. You see on the weekly on the info, this thing's been a beast. I'd love to see it come back down about 101 and then grab and keep going higher. You see, you want to see an A++ chart? Here it is. So another thing that can help you off the bat is find tickers that have beautiful charts on the monthly and the weekly, right? Because they're easy to read. They're not all choppy. If you see a chart that's, stuck in a range, it's chopping, you can't read it, you don't know what the hell's going on, or there's wicks everywhere. If there's wicks all over any time frame, run away from it. All right, run it away, avoid it. The reason it's important to have good direction on the monthly and the weekly because it means it's easy to read on the daily and the 4-hour. If you can't read this thing and see exactly where price is in relation to this big uptrend here, there's a problem. And you need to skip it and then go to another ticker and find one that you can clearly read it. Right? If you're trying to guess what the hell it's doing, then that's your cue to get out and find another one. Because there's so many tickers that have beautiful time frames that we're trading something that looks like garbage. Understand? That right there will save you so much headache. All right? You want a clear direction. That's how you get big moves. All right. We know why this thing is red on the day because it made a huge move, right? And now people are taking profits. Right? I love for this thing to come back down and find support here for one higher. Will it do it? Probably. Yeah, it probably will. All right. Can you pull it? Can you take it going down? Yeah, because you know it needs a rest. And these pullbacks are healthy. They need them. Yeah. So this time frame says red on all these time frames, but I tell you this damn thing's bullish as hell. So what I like to see one big red bar or 2 or 3 here, and guess what? We're gonna wait till this thing catches and takes it back up. And the tickers that look beautiful like that, guess what? I keep them on my watch list all the time. I want to be able to see it at any given time. So I keep about 20 or 30 up all the time. They're just perfect. They're easy to read. I love trading them. I don't need a scan to tell me what it's doing. I can look. I can look at it instantly and tell you exactly what it's doing. Yeah, don't need it. So we're going to wait on this thing to catch and then ride it back to the moon. All right, now that we've done that, let me look at these chats and then we'll go through some scans. That's exactly right. Yeah. So if you're new, stick to 30 and 60 because not only is the price action slower, it's easy to read, and from candle to candle, it could be $3, $4, $5. So you're exactly right, Brent. Yeah. Yeah. Price does not have to be whipsawed everywhere. It's easy to read. Once you get good at trading 30, 60, then you can step to the 15 and then the 5. But honestly, I wouldn't trade anything less than the 5. There's no way in hell. Some people, they get the 1 minute or 3 minute and then tick charts, and that's just super, super quick. But their account size so huge, they can make a lot of money off a 10-cent move. I tell you this, if I had their account size with my moves, damn, everybody in the straight community would be millionaires.
I hope you're not referring to James Bradley there.
The guru of the speed heist. Tell you what, if I had that man's money though, we'd be rich.
I think if he had his own money, he'd be rich.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been green for the last 6 years, right? With no losses. Awesome. He makes consistent money, but I tell you what, I do like my 10, 20, $30 move. My biggest move to date was Tesla. We caught it for $100 in one day. Caught Roku for 30, Baidu for 30, 40, and
Did you see James Bradley puts out almost $1 million just to get a 15, 30-cent move?
Yeah, what's his RR? That's crazy, man. I guarantee you he's not showing it, but I guarantee you he's losing money during the day.
I can't see how anybody trades on that time frame. It's way too short.
Well, he don't lose any money. He's only in there for 3 or 4 minutes at the beginning of the market, and he's done for the day. He don't trade during the day.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the risk would be. I mean, there's a lot. There is risk in anything you do, but he don't have to be in. Like you said, he don't have to be in very long to catch a move. I don't know. He's got a lot of money though. He's probably using a lot of leverage or something.
He's definitely on margin. He was complaining a couple weeks ago that they took his margin away or something like that.
Oh shit, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I know this. We catch big moves and we catch them every day, and hell, I'm showing what I'm doing on here. You show it and share it. A lot of people trade the strat. They're probably doing great and stuff like that. But man, I like to see them trade live. I want to see what they're doing. When I first started trading, I looked at everybody's strategy. Like, I'd go on Bazinga and I'd watch Sarah's and DD's and Cyber Dogs and James. I looked at them all, and I took the best pieces from each one. I made it my own. I just kind of Frankenstein something. And somebody has something to offer or something like that, I'm always willing to learn, because I want to keep perfecting my strategy. And I always heard when I first started trading, oh, you gotta make it on. No two people trade the same, and I know what that means now, because I had a friend that traded with me, and he was taking my entries and stuff like that, and I'd look over and he would be down, and I'd be up, and I didn't understand it, but the way it was happening was because he was so slow about getting in. He wouldn't practice getting in and out real fast. In a few seconds can make a big difference. But he wasn't cut for trading, man. He would sit there, his leg would be shaking, he'd be jerking, he'd breathe in heavy, and he would focus on the 5-minute chart. Man, it would drive him crazy. So when you're trading, you don't look at the 5-minute chart. Look at the 15. The only reason you can look at the 5 is to add. It's just too volatile. It moves too much. You get stopped out. You'll stop yourself out.
I like that pivot study. I loaded it. Look at Walmart on the 15 on your pivot study. It's almost ready to break that thing.
I'm telling you that pivot study, man, is money. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lagger either. I mean, it's real time. Yeah, exactly. And this breaks, man, here's another tip. The longer this consolidates, the bigger the break. If you go to a consolidation on the weekly or the monthly, and it's been I see them all the time. They consolidate for 3 years. When that thing breaks, man, it's $100 move. So even a consolidation, say on the 5 minute here, if it consolidates for an hour or two and it breaks, it'd be a big old push on the 5 minute. It does not matter. The longer it consolidates, it breaks. So it's been consolidating. Walmart's been consolidating for, actually it started back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And right here on the 30th, it's been consolidating for 3. So when it does decide to break here, you'll see a big push up. Here's another pattern too. You see it all the time. I show it all the time. So price breaks through this pivot. It comes up. It comes back down and retests it. Holy shit. That's the move there. First, we always play the break. But the second move, man, is where the real magic happens because it's twice the first. So say Walmart breaks out of this pivot here on the 30. It pushes $2. It comes back down and retests. And then it holds support. So now resistance is now support. Well, guess what? The next move is going to be $4 at the very least. And you'll see that pattern, man, happen on the 5 minute, the 30, 60. Well, look right here on Walmart on the 5 minute. It's happening right now. So price pushes up through there. Of course, we play the break. It's kind of chopping, but it still proves my point. Comes up, it retests. All right. So the move, the high before the retest, 141. It's only 20 cents, but the next move is gonna be, 20 cents, which will bring it to 141.40. But when this prior resistance, see, it was resistance and it started way back over here, but it's now support. So they try to take it down and they try to take it down. They couldn't. So the only place for this to go is up. So that happens on every time frame.
So you use that point of control on the 5 minute, use that sort of like a resistance bar, the pink one?
Yeah, I mostly use that in the first 30 minutes of the day. Like right now, I don't pay any attention to it after 10 o'clock. I just keep it out there. Yeah. But it can act as support and resistance. You see right here active. And all that is, it shows you where most of the shares are bought and sold for the day. And it does, this right here does move. It is a live bar. The first 30 minutes I use it. After that, I don't care. I use these studies. But you can imagine this pattern happens, and the higher time frame it happens on, the bigger the move. And I see that. You'll see this pattern, man. Once you recognize it, you'll see it everywhere. Too much is what I've been watching. Goldman Sachs, you can see right here on the 4 hour. See how price pushes up? It pushes up, it comes back down, and we know about price expanding. So when it wicks down, I don't worry about it too much. But look, it comes up, it retests. Even I don't care if it wicked down through there or not. So retest, it held and pushed right back up. So this move from here, 344. There's the high for the dip. It's 353. So 354. So we'll say $10, right? So 364 is target on this thing. And you'll usually get that target, and then it'll keep going. So we always play the break. So I always mark the break, and then what I'll do is I'll mark it and I'll keep an eye on it for it to retest. And people that want to swing, there's your damn swing right there. Lowe's is an ad or a entry right now on Lowe's. Tesla's trying to TTO come back up. It'll be an ad again. I'll add back to it. Or not add, but I'll enter again. This pattern is fucking money, man. I'm telling you, it is money. You can see the same thing on the daily, on an individual candle here. So there's a 4 hour, but here's the break. All right, it pushes up. This wick here is a retest. All right, So price opened. It actually came and tested to try to go lower, and it couldn't. So guess what? They pushed it right back up. So there's a retest there.
Do you think the safer entry is to wait for the retest and that's, the highest probable trade?
Well, you definitely can. I trade them both though. Apple's trying to TTO the upside, Tesla's trying to break back up. So this is going to be your added entry if you're still in Apple. A lot of people wait on the retest. You can. I trade them both. So I trade the break and I trade the retest. Yeah. But the retest, you talk about a swing. That's where the real magic happens. Let's pull up a Tesla right here on the 15. Let's see this TTO here. It's a beautiful one. So it is a reversal pattern on the upside here as well. So price pushed down, it found a base. All right. It's coming up. So for me to consider the reversal, it's matched on the slower Bronner formation here, but it pushes up, it pulls back the next leg up. So what do? We take it when it crosses here. All right. Magnitude 681. It's the pivot machine gun here too. And look here, see these big red bars here? See that big ass red bar? I love those. Here's why. The reason that works so well is because all these stop orders stacked like damn sardines right here. So anytime I see a big red or green bar, man, that's money to me. It's like a gap. There's no resistance there. All right. And here's why. Let me show you. On this TPO study, there's a volume profile there, and I've got it turned off. I used to keep it on. It's just in the way. All right. See these voids here? See that void and that void there? There's no resistance there. So when I say a big red candle is like a gap, there's no resistance there. All right. So with that being said, price quickly pushes up through there. Quickly push up through there. And it has to do with, the point of control where the most shares are bought and sold. So, people are buying most of Tesla right in this area, at the 662 area. But up in here, it touched and it just fell. And then it touched through here, broke down, and it fell. And at this point of control, here's that pattern too. It works both ways. So you need to be mindful of that. It pushed down, it come up and retest, and then back down. And it works in opposite direction. So now we come up. We play the break, right? We play the breakout. It comes up, it retests. Now it is support. See? And we gotta be aware that sometimes price will wick down before it continues higher. So our entry would be 666, 73, right? And it's it's lunchtime, so you want to give it a little bit more before taking it because they can do a bear trap. Lowe's was an ad. So if you're in Lowe's, you want to add to it. You should have added to it about a minute or two ago. But we want to see it break that. Okay. 5 minutes to flip, so we got to be mindful of that as well.
So you're basically saying the dark stuff, there isn't much volume there, so it can cut right through it.
Yeah, right here where that void is. Let me see if I can draw it up there.
Apple TTO
yeah,
on the
yeah.
15.
Yeah. So right here,
Yeah.
there's no resistance in this area here. None. So these where it's blue sticking out here, that's where the most shares are bought and sold. The further it sticks out. So when price hits this area here, so Tesla's long right this second, watch it. You'll see it fucking skyrocket through here. Especially through here. It'll quickly come up through here. If you watch it,
Well,
you'll see
Apple
it.
just popped. Apple
Yeah.
popped.
Apple's long right now, TTO. So Apple and Tesla's running together. Spy's long here. Yeah. So same thing. These patterns happen all the time. So Apple, if you pull Apple up right here, it'll look exactly the same. So let's pull up Apple right quick. It's TTO 15. So our entry's on the break. Right. Price pushes up, it pulls back, and it goes higher. But again, it's after lunch, so you gotta be mindful that these breaks fail about 50% of the time. So first of all, it stopped down here, came up, it's making higher highs, or higher lows, I'm sorry, it is making higher highs too. Price pushes up, it pulls back, and now the next leg up. The reason they call it triangle F, because this forms a triangle. Now, on my Tesla call here, I'm going to keep a tight stop on it. I know this is Apple, but I'm going to keep a tight stop on it, even though it's triangle F, because it's after lunch. So after lunchtime, these breaks fail 80% of the time. So you want to give it just a little bit more. So this is still pushing there, so it should take Apple with it, but it's something that you need to be mindful of.
Hey, Jerry, can you go through the breaking formation that you drew on Tesla a couple of days ago? Or broadening formation, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me clear this up. That study's called TPO profiles. I keep it on my 5-minute chart because I'm usually using it the first 30 minutes of the day.
So basically that profile on Apple, it's got a big cavity. It could go fast without much resistance there, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. Here and this big cavity here. Yep. The price can quickly go through. It will too. And here's the thing too. Pivot machine gun. So the bigger the candles, the faster it moves. So if it gets up to 130, see that other big red candle there? Whenever you see big red candle, I'm telling you it's mine, man. Tesla's still working if you took it with me. All right. See big red candles on the Tesla? That is absolute mine. If I put the TPO profile on this thing, you'd say this would be a big void. All right.
Well, like Rob said, that first bar on that 60, since it's a 3, it probably goes and takes out the other side, right?
Yeah, because see right here, it expands. And you know, we're talking about on the broader formation on this pivot. Sometimes price does wick there before going back up. And if you just trade the 30-60, there's a 2 down, 2 up with a hammer. It's my favorite reversal pattern. And remember, for it to be a reversal, I want to see a clear uptrend. I want to see a push up. I want to see a pull back and the next leg up. That's exactly what we got here. So what is it? A reversal. All right. So I don't try to guess the bottom. Okay. I want to make sure that it's hitting certain areas. All right. So you talking about this broad information right here?
Yeah.
Pull it up. So I drew this thing the other day, and I actually extended it to the right just a little bit ago, and it came right back down and touched right here on this hammer. Pretty crazy.
And do you
So on this 3 right here,
do you usually do it on the 30-minute, or I mean, I know people do it
on any,
the charts, but which one do you typically use?
either the 30 or the 60.
Okay.
And here's the reason I like the pivots, because the pivots usually line up with the broad formation.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the start of this pivot, there's the start of that pivot. All right.
Yep.
So you want to usually draw it from here back.
Right.
And you usually want to draw it connected to a 3 or a 1 as well. Because a 3 in the self reversal pattern, price expands on those. But it's more important to understand that price expands more so than being able to draw it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome very much. Yeah. So let's put, let's change this to a 60. Let's see it. So right here on the, it's kind of wonky. It aggregates on the daily, but you see right here is a big void. Right here's a big void there. So here's a 2 down with a hammer. There's a 2 up, and it rips. So we can't see another pullback here if we're going higher. I'm not gonna wait on Tesla. I will take money. I will take money each time. So just be aware if you're taking something that, not too bad, is it? I posted that a few days ago. And the reason I can do that is because I look at the higher time frames first. I hope you got in that. Yes, I called this one on Twitter the other day. It all stems from the higher time frame. Look right here on the weekly and the monthly. Here's that pattern we're always talking about for swings. Breaks up, we play that initial break. It comes back and retests. Guess what? To the fucking moon. Yeah, same thing. Retest, long consolidation, the bigger the break. Here's the consolidation. It actually extends all over here. All right. The monthly is in a clear uptrend. All right. So we know it's strong. It consolidates, long consolidation, the bigger the break. So we have a nice break here on this candle. It comes up. It tests. Can't go lower. It pushes up. So guess what? Your first move starts at here before the pullback. All right. And then the next move is where the magic happens. You get twice the move. All right. So let's just get you a target on there. I'll show you. 88, 830. So mine is $40, right? So target's 870. Guess what? We're just $8 away. So some of the other traders might call some stuff, but they ain't none of them catch a $40, $50 move. You have a larger candle, it's really heavy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You gotta have a massive account to make a lot on a 20-cent move. But you don't need a large account to catch one option for a $40 move. You could have bought this thing out of money, 20, 30 cent in delta and made a small fortune. Yeah, 125, even the 5-minute can be too quick. I will not trade anything less than 5. There's just too much. There's too much movement. There's no sense in putting yourself through that. Just do all the time. I got it at Tesla for a small profit there. The video pushing. Nice. Lowe's is still pushing. I'm telling you, man. That TT on the weekly. I mean, like I said, it could be done by tomorrow if it wants to be. The break is a little high. It makes after the breakout. 7 inches, okay. Gotcha. Well, I'm going to trade the first breakout and the second breakout and the third breakout. It's hard, I mean, here's the thing too. The stuff I'm looking for, I've got scans for. These 2-1 breaks, I've got scans for that. It's hard for me to message or run through enough charts. If you have a scan to find that third break, that's awesome. I don't. But he probably is very successful with that. I don't doubt it one bit. Yeah, second entry is definitely safer. And that's where the big move comes from. Yeah. That's like when I call something, if you're not comfortable taking the initial break that I call, wait for it to triangle lay out and then take entry on it. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has to, in the end, everybody has to do what they're comfortable doing for sure. No two people trade alike. Absolutely. Yep. So if I like, so if I was to trade a 30-60, the 2-2 reversals, I love a 2-2 with a hammer, of course. One of your rules could be, I'm not going to trade this 2-2 reversal unless it's bouncing off a lower broadening formation or a lower pivot. And and another rule is I'm going to trade only charts that have A+ setups on the monthly and the weekly. And I want to know that price has recently come out of a TTO on the daily. So that could be some of your rules. Have rules and stick to them. You've got to have rules. Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Brent. You can trade one contract and you can get it with a 30-cent delta and make a lot of money just with one contract if you follow some of the moves I make. For sure. You're absolutely right. You don't have to load every single time. Yeah, one contract, $30 to $50 on the dollar move, right? Of course, if you can get it closer to the money, the better. If you're getting a 50-60 cent delta and the thing moves $1, which hell, I can get $1 move my eyes closed. It's $50. And then once you get in the money, you're making dollar for dollar. So every time it moves $1, you made 100. Yeah. 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 I rarely get in something that's all in the money. Black's fixing to break out again too. You see right here on the well, here's a break here, right? So on black, you can take these breaks and retest on any time frame. So like Brent was saying, here's your initial break, all right? It comes back and retests, right? There's a 2-2 back to the upside. So you could take it on this next break, right? And that move right there, netted you almost 55 to 63, $8. Here's your next TTO. It goes inside. This is a consolidation because after an $8 move, you need a rest, all right? And it breaks right here at 863, 862.40 to be exact. Yeah, if you took this call the other day when I called it, it was $43 swing on Twitter. So
Hey, Jerry, when you did Etsy this morning at a short, did you use that pivot where it couldn't break through off of the pre-market? Is that was your cue?
let's see. Yeah, you consolidated and broke down. I took it right off the bat too. I took it. I think I took it so early. I called it in the room, in the Discord room. All right, here's where I took it. It gapped down this morning. I get this short. I think it gapped down this morning. They tried to take it higher. All right, they couldn't. So as soon as it started to fill, I took it. I took it about here. I think it was at 160.
You took it on the second bar or third bar?
I took it on this red bar right here.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So see how it pushed up, it wick down. So these wicks are very important too. It came back up, came back down, then they try to go higher, so then it made a higher low, and it failed. Yeah, so I took it there. Yeah. It's also like a $7 or $8 move. I think I caught it 3 times in like 2 seconds in the alert. I wanted people to get the hell in it and make some money with that. I gotta get this thing off there. It's a lot better. And also, I've got these EMAs on here. I don't ever use them anymore. Let's just go ahead and get rid of those. I've had a lot of stuff in the past that if I don't use it, I get rid of it. It just makes more noise. Right? The most helpful thing that I use, I could even do away with that TPO study, is these pivots. That's all I use. And I can see price without them, but it lets me see them in an instant, especially when I'm scanning through charts during the day. Yeah, Amazon, yeah. Yeah, these moves on some of these stickers that have a high ADR, yeah, just a quick move can make you a lot of money. If I start in reverse at the inside now 60. See, let's take a look at it. All right, see right here on the 30 and the 60 on SPY. There's our pivot. See it? So right off the bat, we know when price comes up through here, it can do 3 things. It can break straight through it. It can come up. It can pull back a hair if we're going higher. Or it can come up and reverse completely. What I do like about it is inside. All right. It is making a higher low here. It's a good sign that's bullish. It goes inside here and up. So that's a pretty good move. 414, 47, that's a $3 move. That's a pretty good move for SPY. All right. This move here needs a rest. All right. That 1 bar is a rest or consolidation. It needs a rest for that next leg up. Tell you what, when it breaks this level here, and remember it's after lunch, so I'd like to see it break around close to 418 before I take it long. But this could just be a TTO to the upside here, but it needs to break that pivot, and you know this pivot's act as support and resistance. Right now, it acted as resistance, and you can see it because it wicked up and pulled back, and it wicked up and it pulled back. So it'd be nice to see it push up, pull back, come up, retest, and it can. So we take the initial break. It can wick down just a hair before going higher. So if I was going to set my stop on this, I would set it. I wouldn't set it that much, really. I mean, right in here is enough. Your stop should be right in this area.
So you like setting the buy order about 15, 20 cents above because there's probably some shorts ready to romp on that the second it breaks?
Yeah, well, before 11:30, you know, I'll take it just a few pennies above it. But when it gets close to lunch and after lunch, these breaks fail about 80% of the time. So instead of, you know, letting it break about 2 or 3 cents above, I want it to break 20 or 30 cents above because they'll wick it above it and then pull right back on you. They fail a lot of times after lunch. So it's just something to be very aware of. They will pull it. There's a lot of bull traps after lunch. Yeah. So I'm paying a lot more attention to volume as it comes up through this. after lunch. I want to see big increase in volume as it comes out. So I don't know who's doing it, if it's the market makers or I don't think retail's doing it. But you'll see it pick up and then pull right back down because they're trapping people. They know there's a lot of people. to buy
Well, it's
one or
almost
something.
like if you notice, like when a new candle, like a 30 or 60, they pop up just a little bit and shoot right back down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been stuck. I've been trapped in those so many times when I first started trading. I'm like, well, this happens all the time. It's after lunch, so now I'm aware of it, right? So I can share that with anybody that'll listen. That after lunch, you better be, these breaks work great in the morning with no hesitation, but after lunch, boy, you better watch out.
Jerry, to share all your wisdom, I really appreciate it. You're unbelievable.
Well, you're very welcome. And now I like sharing it. You know what? Anybody that'll listen, of course, it's up to everybody to put the work in, but the information is there. It's free. And really, when it boils down to it, trading's not that hard. It's the emotional side that's hard. It's basically just patterns. Make sure the upper time frames look good, and then going down the lower time frames to gain entry into that. But you're welcome. I'm happy to teach anybody that's willing to learn. And when I first started the trading in general, there wasn't many people showing what they're doing live. Nobody was, And I thought I'd try to do something different. It's easier. Some people, learn good by books, and some people learn by watching. And I never found it, so I figured I'd be the first one to do it. And be realistic. Not every trade's gonna work. And that's okay. When I first started trading, I bet I went through 3 or 4 different strategies. And as soon as it didn't work 2 or 3 times in a row, man, I was on to the next. So a big thing too is trusting your strategy. We know the strat works, right? Just because we have a few failures don't mean that something's wrong. We need to swap it out. It works, and it's not every trade's gonna work. It's just how it is.
But you're not just a live trader. You're a great trader. I mean, you show you everything, all the time frames, all your tactics, the breaks. I mean, you're probably one of the best traders around, let alone a great teacher.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've only been trading for a year. March of last year was when I started, the first time I ever saw a chart. So I'm just gonna get better and better and better, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think everybody appreciates what you do, honestly. Sharing it, because that's part of the strat too. That's what Rob teaches is you just share what you know and people can take it or not.
That's it. And you like it or you don't, but I think I tried to make it as simple as I can. There's really only 2 or 3 patterns I use, and they work pretty good. Like, you don't have to know them all. You just need to know a couple. And I try to share the rules and stuff that can and can't happen to make it easy on people to implement the rules. Well, it's not that. I don't think it's that hard. It's a lot to take in. I understand that. But if you do it in stages, it's easier. And I think the first stage is is execution. So you gotta be able to execute them and see the pattern, right? Get good at that, and take your profits often. And then after you get good at that, then you want to start practicing staying in this trend longer. You know, and it's emotional. It's like an emotional workout, really. You know, it's just emotional when you're seeing these things move up and down, coming back on you. But once you get good at that, then you can start adding these things, you know. And I used to recommend the Heikin-Ashi chart all the time. It's still very good if you have a hard time staying in the trend. You could pop that chart up and trail the 5 minute. 15 is better, of course, but the 5 minute will keep in the trend about 20 to 30% longer. And it's basically a hands-off approach. All you're doing is moving the stop up every 5 minutes. And when it comes against you, you just get out. Any way to take your emotions out, because you're usually the reason that you're losing money is your emotions.
Yeah, someone just mentioned, if you look at Cisco, that was a hell of a pivot machine gun on the daily. It's got a little bit more to go back to that pivot, but it's almost there.
Oh, dang. That was in beast mode today.
Look at the volume on that thing on the 5 minute or 30 minute. Wow.
Damn. You can see 53.18 today for one day. Hit machine gun daily. What a ripper. Wow.
Boy, that pivot study has awesome. It just picks that right where that pivot's at. You don't have to
Yeah.
think.
That's it. It takes it away. It makes it instant. And these pivots also, a lot of times they'll line up right with the Broadman formation. So
Was that pivot study posted in the chat earlier this morning?
yeah.
All right.
It's also in the Discord under scan and script room toward the top.
It's almost at the top of the of his scripts. Just go all the way to the top, and he has something that has
Okay.
that.
All right,
It's
I'm gonna-
awesome.
Oh, there it is
try to-
right there.
I'm gonna put that in my charts.
Dude, and yeah, load it to every time frame. Because each one has its own high and low. Google, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. No, look, I appreciate you guys as much as you appreciate me. And you know, especially if we can all get on the same page. I know everybody's different and stuff, and you don't have to do anything I say, but boy, if we can all find these patterns at one time, the more eyes, the better. That's what I'm saying. It's incredible. If we make a team and everybody's looking at the same things. Thing. And of course, you know, the good thing is too is you can go out and find your own patterns and do your own breaks and make your own decisions and all that other. And that's the end goal is basically you're making your own decisions. Now you can take my trades, don't bother me. So you can make money while you're learning. So
Hey, Jerry, one query I made yesterday that I really like, especially for the downside in this environment. I had anything that broke the weekly low, and then it broke the monthly low, but then I had an alert shoot it out, tell me when it broke it. And finally, when it breaks those monthly, you're able to jump on it right away.
yeah, those work out very well. There's some really good stuff, I tell you that. And there's so many different ways that you can use the pivots too. I'm sorry, I missed part of your conversation. My daughter walked in here.
What I was saying is that I found something that helps, especially when it's sort of a down market. So what I did is I wrote a query last night that pulled our, who's hit the weekly low already, and then who's about ready to hit the monthly. So sort of those two going together. And then what I did is I set alert, because I don't want to look at all the ones that's already happened. I want to see the new ones. So when the monthly breaks, they usually keep going. At least I can jump on it right when it hits.
Gotcha. So you want to take it short?
Yeah, exactly. And then in a
Okay,
good,
nice.
in a good market, do it the other way, because what happens is you can't catch those monthly breaks unless you're watching them. So I at least have had the weekly, so I'll wait for that monthly to break. When it breaks it, I have an alert set, and it just shoots out the new ones.
Nice. Yeah, and when these break, I mean, look at Pecan yesterday. Holy crap, man. And Roku. I mean, Roku's still dying here. So that's, you know, that's a great scan period, man. Especially for taking stuff short. Yeah, it could be very powerful, especially the month. A month break could be a big move. Roku just ain't gonna stop, is she? And if you notice too, a lot of these tickers that are puking, if you look at them on the monthly, they're all 2, 1, 2 continuation measure moves. So you're talking about a swing. They've got all month to get that measure move. So 320, it's $80. It's $90 right there. So that could be 460 or 260.
Yeah, I think Roku has earnings tonight or tomorrow.
I wonder, now I haven't noticed this, maybe some of the guys that's been trading more than me. If a ticker's been puking, this Roku's been a good ticker, so it's puking. What do you think the outcome is for?
They try to call me.
Why?
I don't know.
Hey, Corey, were you saying that you think Roku's earnings are this week?
Yeah. I'm positive. I think they're tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So I'd be careful, one way or another, what's going to happen.
Yeah. So I think the question he was going to ask was, what do you think the earnings are? And
I think they're going to be.
always go ahead.
I think they're going to be good. And, they're advertising, they make more off of selling the boxes. But you look at, Amazon or any of the other ones, if they come out good, it seems like they kill them. The ones that do bad, they run.
Yeah, there's some to that. What I was going to say was, there've been a couple of uh-ohs, Fastly being a recent one that's, it's gotten roughed up pretty bad. And the market was kind of telegraphing that was not going to be a good report. So I don't know. See if Jerry can come back what he thinks.
Oh man, I don't. It's crazy because stuff that has good earnings just puke, and then the stuff that has the good earnings, they just skyrocket, and then stuff that are tickers like Hertz is filing bankruptcy, goes to the moon. So it's hard. I don't know, man. It's hard to decipher that crap. I know a lot of times they already have price, they already have it priced in before earnings, but I don't know. Roku's puking here. It could have good earnings and then rip. I don't know. It's just, I definitely don't want to be holding it overnight, but it'd be nice to kind of determine what was going to happen.
Yeah, Roku is after close this evening.
After close.
And yeah.
But it seems like the markets got spooked. I think when the president came out and said that they're going to raise taxes and also the Fed's potentially tightening. So it was a double whammy. And I think that's what sort of spooked the market. People have been sold off.
Tesla and Apple may be trying to TTO here. Yeah, you just don't know. It's so volatile, but of course, that's what we like, the volatility in it.
Yeah, if you're on the right side of that volatility, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. On the wrong side, it could eat you up. Though. Yeah.
The Dow and Nasdaq have both swung positive for the day, but as you point out, it's 1 o'clock, so that can reverse in a hurry.
Yeah. You can find a lot of good moves after the lunch, after like 2 o'clock. Decent ones, especially on days that puke or stuff. You'll see a lot of them start to reverse around 1 or 2, man, and continue to run the rest of the day.
Usually I'll just stick around in the morning for the first 2 hours and then step away the middle 2 hours and then come back for the last 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because it's kind of dead between now and 11:30, 2 o'clock. But I tell you what, I'm usually, I'm at my target by, usually 10:30. But, on a good day, I want to hang around, see what else I can catch. But it makes it easier when you're already up a little bit during the day. It makes it where you can relax. But some days I'll start off and I'll be red. I'll be down 2 or 3 trades, and if the market starts chopping, it lets me know, I need to take my profits quicker. So there's like 3 days. There's 3 kinds of days for trading. So to me, the first day is, man, the market's going in my direction. My strategy's working well. On those days, I'll load up more. The second kind of day is the market is push up. It's just chopping, and you can kind of tell around 10 o'clock what kind of day it's going to be between 10 and 10:30. And if it's chopping back and forth, then I'll take my profits quicker, and I'll cut down on the size. And then some days it's just a really tight consolidation, ain't doing nothing, right? So those days you really want to cut back or just, take a day off early. You know what I mean? So you can, I'm sure you guys can tell that how some days are and some days aren't.
But this isn't, Jerry, this isn't a strat knowledge, but there's 2 tickers called NYMO and NAMO. If you ever look at and study them, when NYMO gets around -25 to -50, man, you can buy both hands because that whole market rips right back up. And same thing on NAMO. NAMO's -40 right now. So that's getting, pardon?
Will you spell that?
NYMO. It's a ticker. It sort of measures sentiment. I mean, you just look at it and you can clearly see when that thing hits right around -40, that market just turns around and rips the other way. And NAMO is one for the NASDAQ. It's sitting at -40. So we're now getting close to, that level, at least on the NASDAQ, of doing a U-turn.
Gotcha. Okay, will you tell me the levels again for NEMO?
NYMO is NYMO.
Okay.
And when you pull it up, just make sure. So in essence, that's the name of it. You're going to use the Maclaurin oscillator in TOS, Maclaurin oscillator. And then you're going to use the one that says New York when you click on it. Okay. And then make sure that you pick the button towards the bottom that says ratio, and that will show you it. And then you want to do the Maclaurin oscillator for the NASDAQ. But, on other platforms like stock charts, it's called NYMO and NAMO. But on TOS, use the Maclaurin oscillator. But make sure when you click it, you'll see a button on there, sort of like that one you were doing on the VPOX. They're saying make sure you hit ratio. Yeah, I mean, it's money.
I'll definitely be checking that. Yeah, I'm not strictly, I'm not one of them people, because some stress like, oh, you're using this, you're not a stratter. Me, I don't care. If you have something that you're bringing that works for you, then use it. You know what I'm saying? And if there's something that I can add or research that helps my strategy be better, I'm gonna use it. I don't care. So I'm always willing to look at anything that would help increase it. Like something I've had in the last week is this ticking trend chart up here on the top right. And it's basically, the trend is like a fear indicator. It's kind of like VIX. And anything below 90 is it's good for longs. And then that tick is basically, you probably heard Rob talk about, man, if you can know what where the most twos are going up, then you know what kind of market it's going to be. So the tick and the trend, especially for a New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ or whatever, but it's advancing and declining. So right now there's 300 tickers declining in the New York Stock Exchange. So it's kind of bearish at the moment. But it's just something I'm kind of playing around with, especially
Well,
in these
the thing you want to do on tick, what adds more is tick cumulative. I put that on TOS, and what it does is it tells you for the day what the cumulative number is, right? So right now we're sitting down about minus 58 for the day.
Uh-huh.
So so they're selling a little bit more than they're buying on a cumulative basis,
cumulative. Okay.
right? Because that
Yeah, right.
helps you through the day to see, are they buying or selling?
I like that. So that's an
And then
average.
the other one I have is also tells you a lot, you're trading individual, but I have the breadth of the market. So I can tell, like the Qs are up 1.86 to 1, which tells me there's more volume being bought than sold. The Dow's like 5.8, about 5.9 to 1. SPY's about 1.25 to 1. But like the New York's -1. So if it's
Okay.
1, it's sort of chopped. But the higher the number you get, either positive or negative, it usually tends to go in that direction.
Gotcha. So I need to find a tick cumulative because right now, my tick indicator is real erratic. It's at 24.
Yeah,
now.
it's current. It's current.
Yeah.
So mine's just more on it.
That's what I want. I want the average, something that's, gives me an overall trend on the day instead of second by second. I want to know. I'm more on the page with you about cumulative. So I need to find a scan for that. Now, do you like the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ or which one do you like the?
Well,
Yeah.
I have one for each. I have a tick cumulative for the New York. I got a tick cumulative for the SPY. I got one for
Okay.
the NASDAQ, the QQQs. So whatever, stock you're playing at least tells me, like right now, I have one of my charts, I got the SPY up and it's about -69 down. And then the QQQ is sitting about -32. So it's a little flattish, for the day. And like I told you, you can use VXN for the VIX for the Qs,
Gotcha.
right? So that at least you get stuff more specific to the stocks you're trying to trade.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Hey, somebody's talking about posting. Hey, Brent, if you want to post your scripts in the Discord in the script in the scan room, man, that'd be awesome. If you want to share them, of course. Or you can put them in general. I can move them over. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm gonna take into consideration. I'll be researching this for sure. So I appreciate it. Some really good knowledge. Anything to let you see the bigger picture, the better. Looks like VIX is starting to pull up here a little bit. SPY's pulling in.
But it just basically gives you the internals underneath price. It's not like stochastics and all that stuff. This is literally price to tell you is really what happened. Like tick is really what price is doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't want anything that lags. We want to know, right now what's happening. And that's what I like. So, it tells you exactly what's happening right this second. Texas Instruments took a run for it. Yeah, Cisco and TXN, that's some good ones there. Baidu looks like it's trying to puke. I wouldn't say puke. It's coming back down. So Baidu's been in a big downtrend there. So remember, every time frame needs its own pullback. So this right here on the 60 could just have been a pullback to the downside here. It needs to break this 192.57 level. Look at it. Yeah. So we need some kind of pullback to get into Baidu, but it's going to be short. And it's got room to about 191, 190. Just a couple dollars. Etsy's making a new low. It's just chopping. Roku's making a new low right now as well. They're just slow, you know, they're slow. So if you're gonna get into any of that stuff, it's probably best to buy next week expiration, even though it's gonna cost you a little money. Roku puked all day yesterday too. It's just slow. 79. Damn. They moved $20, so I don't guess it matters if it's slow or not. Incredible. Yeah, I appreciate that, Brent. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll move on. So Baidu is gonna be short. Baidu is short right here. First target 192.55. Roku looking for spot to get in here. Maybe late to the party, but we'll see. It peaked most of the day yesterday too. I actually took it underneath it for a long contract. Hang on. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna take a break here. If I see anything else popping, keep an eye on the Discord alert. It's every little bit of shop. There's still some follow up here now. If you don't hear from me though, I'll see y'all in the morning.
Hey, Jerry, I put that script in the general room.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll definitely take and move it over there. I appreciate that very much. I'll definitely be taking a look at it. Everyone, I appreciate you. I hope you made a bunch of money today. And we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Lotto Friday, so we'll get a bunch of cheap ones. We need to catch them.
Thanks,
early,
Jerry.
though. You're welcome very much.
Yep, thanks.
You're welcome, everybody. Yeah. So we'll do it again tomorrow. Catch some cheap options. Catch the big moves in the morning. And it's not a big old weekend. Keep on Tesla too. It's trying to break down right here. Baidu still pushing. So Roku, if you can find an entry, it'll probably push down the rest of the day. Just be mindful on these breaks or these push downs. Continuation that happen most of the day. Between 3 and 4 o'clock, they can give back a lot of it. So, all right, we'll see you all in the morning. Oh yeah, want to add. I'm gonna leave the room open, so if anybody wants to talk, call stuff out, y'all talking between yourselves and stuff, help each other out.